Good evening, race fans, and a happy extreme race night to you all. The Dre Broadcasting Network welcomes you aboard the action train from Dover International Speedway here tonight. The Extreme Motorsports 99 presents the Lucas Oil 200 for round 5 of the Pro K&N Series, brought to you by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics, iBog. Check them out at ibog.co with Jason Allison. I am your action distributor, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my partner in crime and producer, Dave Everly. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. Ready to see. We are at the Monster Mile. Miles, the monster, is here. He is wanting to claim some cars. The question is who's going to get claimed?
Oh yeah, who will be the victim here tonight? Something to look forward to out there for the viewers. And Dave, start off by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, taking a look at our weather here tonight, we are at Dover International. Looks like we have an air temperature of 78 degrees, track temperature almost 104 degrees. It is under partly cloudy conditions with the wind north just about 2 miles an hour, so making for some slick track out there with such a high track temperature.
Oh, absolutely, and the drivers as usual do have a 50% fuel limit. That is 50% for 170 laps. That is 170 laps. So we should expect to see some green flag pit stops. The drivers should make at least 2 to 3 pit stops in order for them to be successful tonight for the full length of the race. Once again, 170 laps. But just a little bit of a recap from last week's race. The driver COPD 125 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Cody McFadden brought it home for his third win in a row. The 12, Damian Crump came out second. Hunter McDaniel third. Tommy Amasi fourth. 31, Andrew Riley fifth. Christopher Smith sixth. Gary Woolbot seventh. James Peterson eighth. Garrett Robinson ninth. And Joshua Gillen 10th. And that did round up that top 10. And Adam Eisenhower did take the pole and did lead us to our first green flag run, or our first green flag, but we had a big checkup, which did cause a very big junk in the try over there before lap number 1. But the drivers were able to sort it out after that. And we saw some green flag pit stops, which spread out the field and brought into action different strategies. Some worked out and some not so much. And we did have a caution on lap 42, which did catch some drivers off guard because they were on pit road. And it caused most of them to lose at least 1 lap. And they were battling heavily after that, trying to get their laps back the hard way. The drivers did battle heavily throughout the racing surface, discovering multiple race lines that worked well due to the fine weather conditions. And so many green flag runs forced drivers to go single file as a way to save tires for a successful long run. And contact between Damian Crump and Travis Pryor up front did cause a chain reaction with 3 laps to go, which did leave it up to Cody McFadden, Damian Crump, Hunter McDaniel, Tommy Amasi, and Andrew Riley. But overall, it was an amazing battlefield race. We saw some 3 wide, some green flag pit stops, and just pretty much a lot of battles for the lead and even for the back in the pack, all the way below the top 20 at bottom 30. But moving on to our current season standings, we do have the 6-4 of Cody McFadden still in the lead. Hunter McDaniel taking over 2nd place in points, going from 6th place last week to 2nd place this week in points. Damian Crump going from 7th place up to 3rd. But Damian Crump is tied with Marty Ray and Garrett Robinson. So Garrett Robinson, Marty Ray, and Damian Crump are all tied for the 3rd place position. Ralph Vanderforst going from 3rd place to 4th place in points. James Peterson, after having a bad race the week before last and had a better race last week, goes from 7th to 5th in points. Gary Woolbot goes from 8th place to 6th. The 34 of David Schneer goes from 4th place to 7th. Travis Pryor still 8th in points after being tied with Gary Woolbot and Damian Crump last week. We have 86 of Adam Eisenhower going actually still in the 9th place in points. And all 5 of Tommy Amasi back in the top 10 here. And rounding up the top 10 in points. Well, once again, thank you for joining us for Lucas Oil 200 here with the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series, sponsored by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics, iBog. Check them out at ibog.co. And once again, that is with Jason Allison, who did provide all the graphics that you see right before you here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. And the drivers are about to start gridding up, but so far on the pole is the 8 of Waylon Williams. We do have a few seconds before they start gridding. It looks like the grid has started, so we will give them a few seconds before we go down the list. Once again, we have the 8 of Waylon Williams taking the pole here tonight at Dover. 65 Marty Rake second. The 64 of Cody McFadden third. The 13 of Eli Green, who did take the pole in practice, starting fourth. The 48 of Christopher Smith fifth. 86 of Adam Eisenhower sixth. The 66 of Ralph Vanderforst seventh. And Ralph Vanderforst here is the high side driver. He does prefer the high side on every single track. He does make it work. So most likely we'll see him on the high side here tonight as well. And Garrett Robinson starting in the 8th place spot. The 10 of Caleb Daniels 9th. 59 of David White rounding up the top 10. Hunter McDaniel starting 11th. Brandon Slaw 12th. The 11 of Ken Ladd 13th. 19 of Andy Starcher 14th. The 40 of Joshua Gillen 15th. The 34 of David Schneier, 16th. The 31 of Andrew Riley, 17th. The 4 of Michael Snow, 18th. The 12 of Damian Crump, 19th. The 05 of Tommy Amasi, 20th. And that does round up the top 20. And further down the list here, the 41 of Dennis Saint-Germain starting 21st. The 36 of Jason Eisenhower, 22nd. The 78 of Leonard West, 23rd. 18 of Rick Mason, 24th. The 5 of Gary Woolbort, hardest charger, one of the hardest chargers of last week's race at Charlotte, gaining 20 spots overall, starting here tonight in 25th. And the 25 of Timothy McBrayer, rounding up all the drivers who qualified in the 26th place position. And we do have the 14 of Vern Bradley, 28th. And the 81 of Travis Pryor in the 29th place spot. Well, I talked about 29 drivers there, but one of them is not racing, and that's 43 Mason Wetzel. Race control out there. Well, so far here we will start rolling. Yes, we are now rolling off the off pit road here. The drivers being led by, once again, the post hitter, the 8 of Waylon Williams, going green for 101 and 107 laps. That's 170 laps with a 50% fuel limit. Who will bring this home? And Dave, as we know, the 64 of Cody McFadden did have 3 wins in a row last week at Charlotte, being his 3rd win in a row. So the question is, will he be able to pull off a 4th win in a row? And all 5 of Tommy Amasi last week did have his 2nd, 4th place finish in a row. So the question remains, is he going to have a 3rd, 4th place finish, or is he going to move up a couple of spots? But here we are now, almost exiting turn 4. Going to be going green for the first time, this time by. Yep, that pace car does leave the racing surface. The 8 of Williams still holding pace speed. Ray on the outside line right beside him. The 8 of Williams puts it down the floor. He does catch him off guard. They now go single file for Cody McFadden behind the 65 of Marty Ray behind the 48 of Christopher Smith here. Trying to hold off the 97 of Garrett Robinson on the outside line. And right now he is able to get around him here on the exit of turn 2. And they try and catch up to the next victim in line, the 13 of Eli Green. Further back in the pack here, 66 of Ralph Vanderforst so far trying to just have a Sunday drive. And Dave, as we have seen so far here in the Pro K&N series, these cars usually do start out to be tight, and then they do loosen up the longer the run goes.
Yeah, but they gotta watch coming out of turn 4. There is a bump in the track that if they hit it just wrong, they are gonna go up into that outside wall and cause big issues. So this will be interesting, but we have already people out in the chat cheering on. Firebase Racing, good luck from Garrett Robinson, guys. And also Pat T is out there in the chat once again cheering on Travis Pryor in the 81 machine.
Oh, absolutely. Very, very fine drivers indeed. And Travis Pryor, an amazing driver as well. He has had some bad luck the last couple of weeks, but tonight trying to make a difference in that, trying to make a difference in points to up his game. Right now, currently in the standings, he is being shown tied actually in the 8th place spot, same as last week. So tonight he's going to be doing an amazing job trying to have a better race. And right now he is behind the 78 of Leonard West, just pretty much riding single file. And Dave, one thing about a track like this, if you ride for too long, you will be going a lap down in no time.
Yeah, most definitely. Also, if there's green flag pit stops, these drivers are going to have to watch, because they are going to end up going a lap down, most definitely here, because it is a long, slow pit road.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, and most of the drivers most likely will be taking 4 tires with a full tank of gas we might have a few two-tire heroes here and there, like last week. We did see the 12 of Damian Crum taking 2 tires, and he talked about how that tightened his car, over-tightened his car, tighter than it was before to begin with. So that's just the effect of taking 2 tires versus 4. Right now the 81 of Travis Pratt gets around the 78 of Leonard West, and that's the battle for the 22nd place spot. And going for the back up front, the 19 right now, Andy Starches are having a Sunday drive behind the 11 of Ken Ladd. And also going back up front here, the 8 of Williams, still doing an amazing job. He has actually increased his lead up to a second against the 6-4 of Cody McFadden for second.
Yeah, Eli Green sitting back here in 3rd position. About 1.8 seconds there behind the leader, but he has got some stiff competition behind him with Marty Ray and Adam Eisenhower. Also, look, there's a 48 in that fancy Lowe's machine, Christopher Smith running. Also, out there in the chat, we got Grizzly Johnson rooting on the 40 of Jason Gillen as he is riding currently back in the 17th position.
Yeah, Dave, that's going to be 40 over Joshua Gillen, who did round up the top 10 last week for the drive for COPD 125 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. An amazing drive, and I believe last week was his first race here with the Extreme. Oh, we have some trouble on the track, and you see the bad nice goes sideways, gets spun out. Is the caution going to fly? Maybe not, but Adam Eisenhower in the wall with some heavy damage on that machine. It also involved the 97 of Garrett Robinson. It did happen off the track, and the caution finally flies here on lap 10.
Well, we are going to go back here and focus on the 97 of Garrett Robinson here for our Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, as we are going to rewind it here, focusing on the 97. Ooh, looks like Miles the Monster got another victim here. Let's take a look at it from a different angle here. As the 97 is coming out of the turn. Oh, him and the 86 get together down into the inside wall. That is going to do some heavy damage to that 97 of Garrett Robinson.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely did affect the machine. Looks like the front axle was broken, so that machine could not turn whatsoever. He tried to coast it down a pit road, some heavy smoke, but didn't have the turning ability, so he will be getting towed down to pit road as we speak. And going back up front, still being led by the 8 of Waylon Williams, who now goes down pit road here. Garrett Robinson smoking heavily, Dave, staying out to avoid going a lap down.
Yeah, most definitely, but he is going to have to get that car down on pit road to get some service here, as these guys are making their way down on pit road as we speak. The 8 of Waylon Williams is going to bring everybody down here onto pit road.
And Dave's looking at the 97 of Garrett Robinson. It's a bad thing when you're smoking like that. When these cars smoke like that, it does tend, it causes them to most of the time overheat and blow their motors because of that. So hopefully he will be able to make it down to pit road with no problems whatsoever. And we do have one driver who got around the pace car. It was a 36 of Jason Eisenhower, who is being shown 3 laps down, but now back to 2 laps down. So it looks like Jason did have a bad start here tonight, but he definitely will be fighting hard to get his laps back.
Well, Sean, we do have 2 drivers that stayed out, the 31 of Andrew Riley and the 05 of Tommy Amassi. So Andrew Riley is going to get a bonus point here for leading the lap, as we are going to keep an eye on him, see if he's going to come down pit road. 12 laps on their tires. Tires are going to be key here at Dover, as it looks like the 97 of Garrett Robinson making his way down. Here comes the 05 of Tommy Amassi. However, the 31 machine of Andrew Riley is going to stay out and remain our race leader here at Dover for the Lucas Oil 200.
And looking at it right now, Dave, everybody has pitted except for the leader, the one you talked about, 31 of Andrew Riley. That is a very big disadvantage at a track like this, being the only car on older tires. He will have 11 laps more compared to everybody else. So Dave, at this point, he most likely is going to be riding that bottom lane the best he can, trying to defend his spot.
Yeah, most definitely. So we are going to have to keep an eye on that for sure, Sean. See if this is going to play effect for him here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, he just might prove us wrong, just like these drivers always prove us wrong. We say something, they always do the opposite of that. So won't say too much about that. And we might be coming one to green once across start finish line this time by. So I'm not going to get a race interview in this caution, but I definitely will do that The next caution we have, and Dave, we do have a new driver here. Actually, yes, 2 new drivers in the top 5. Andrew Riley being one of them from 17th place to the lead, and Hunter McDaniel from 11th place to 3rd. And as for the back in the pack here, a new driver to the top 10. That's going to be the 11 of Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd is a driver who's known to being on his roof most of the time, or almost every single wreck he's involved in. So hopefully tonight that won't be the case. And we saw the Turn 4 claim the victim there, most likely due to the bump that Dave, you were talking about early on. And we are now back 1 to green here. Andrew Riley going to be electing to start on the outside. Waylon Williams on the inside. Hunter McDaniel right behind Waylon Williams. And 6'4" Cody McFadden behind Andrew Riley on the outside.
Yes, we are getting ready to go back green flag racing here on lap 14 of 170. Getting ready to get this thing going, rolling and rocking as these guys are coming here through turn number 2.
Just like we had seen now on the start, everybody just pretty much went single file. They tried to get the bottom lane as soon as they got the chance to avoid getting freight train, because the outside line is not the place to be. It looks like the banking is favorable there on the inside line here at a track like this, and the outside line seems to be pushing the cars even higher. So far nobody's been working the outside line as much as we have seen in the past, and the pace car dips off once again, going green this time. Andrew Riley puts it down the floor. He does catch him off guard there. 6'4" Cody McFadden sees it coming. So does the 8 of Waylon Williams. They're going to be battling side by side. The second place spot here before turn 1. Hunter McDaniel trying to fall back in line, but they still battle going between Hunter McDaniel and between Cody McFadden and the 8 of Waylon Williams here. But the 6'4" of McFadden propels past Williams on the exit of 2. Entering turns 3 and 4, they will go single file.
Yeah, they're going to go single file here, but Andrew Riley got a good jump there on that start, but here comes Cody McFadden. He is bringing the 8 of Waylon Williams with him as they have now caught up to Andrew Riley. They are on fresher tires. Oh, we got a big wreck here coming out of 2. So we are going to have another caution here tonight.
Oh, Dave, that was the big junk. A lot of drivers were powered into that. The 13 of Eli Green involved, 19 of Andy Starcher, the 4 of Michael Snow, 81 Travis Pryor, 11 Ken Ladd, 59 of David White, 65 of Marty Ray, 88 of Brandon Slaw, and 48 of Christopher Smith on his lid. Looks like 10 of Caleb Daniels, 12 Damian Crump, and Hunter McDaniel. Actually, Hunter McDaniel got a piece of that as well. Let's focus on the 57 of Hunter McDaniel.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little netcode there between the 13 and the 57 there. As we're going to rewind it here, take a look. It looks like they are trying to vie for the same spot. Contact made, and that is just going to bring big junk here, as that is going to involve a lot of cars out here tonight. So that is definitely going to shake up this field.
That definitely will shake up this field indeed, and man, very unfortunate for every single driver involved. At the same time, this track is so narrow. When something happens in front of the drivers like that, it's very difficult to slow down in time to not get rear-ended. Once again, these machines do not have any brake lights or tail lights, so it's difficult to tell when someone is under braking or braking. But going back up front, Andrew Riley going down to pit road here. Is he going to be followed? Hunter McDaniel, Timothy McBrayer, Leonard West, David White, Michael Snow, Andy Starcher. All these guys down pit road, including Eli Green, Ken Ladd, Christopher Smith, and David Schneer down pit road getting some service. And this passes the race lead over to the 64 of Cody McFadden, leading his first lap here on lap 18.
Yeah, right now the most dominant driver so far in the early stages of the race is going to be the 8 of Waylon Williams with 10 laps led. Andrew Riley leading 6, Cody McFadden leading 1. So, but we still got a long race here to go here, Sean.
Absolutely, Dave. A long race indeed. We're going to have a lot more lead changes to come before this thing is over. And holy cow, we have a heavy mover here early on in the race on lap 18, the 81 of Travis Pryor, coming from 29th place to the 6th place spot, just right outside that top 5. And I'm looking at Travis Pryor, he does have some heavy damages for the back in the pack. But he was in 6th place and is now headed down a pit road, this time by to get some service on that machine. Holy cow, he has seen some better days. The lights on the pace car still stay on this time by. And this does give us some time for a race interview here. So let's focus on one of the drivers out there. Let's focus on the 8 of Waylon Williams. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 8 of Waylon Williams up here with us. Good cop there, buddy. Waylon Williams, get a cop there, bud.
I apologize. I got spotters and admins in my ear. I can't hear you.
10 forward, brother. We'll try and catch up with you later on in the race. Have a good one.
Thank you.
And that was the 8 of Waylon Williams. Unfortunately, we won't be able to communicate with him just yet, but we will try again. The next caution that we have, and if we're not 1 to green this time, we will be getting another interview, but we just might be coming to 1 to green. Yep, the lights on the pace car do turn off. We are back 1 to green. 6-4 of Cody McFadden takes on the inside line, and behind will be a 66 of Ralph van der Forst. On the outside is the 8 of Waylon Williams with the help of the 10 of Caleb Daniels. And I'm not sure if I'm seeing this right, but by the looks of it, Dave, we have one driver who lapped the whole entire field. It's the 19 of Andy Starcher. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but everyone's a lap down, as Andy Starcher did lap the entire field. Most likely an error here, and they are trying to get that sorted out. Yeah, once you cross the start finish line, things will cycle all out, things will change. We are now going green, this time by, well, Dave, do the honors.
Well, as the pace car dips down into pit road, we are going back green flag racing, being led by the 8 of Williams there. Actually, it looks like the 19 is going to lead them here. Or no, that just some error, but we are going to let this cycle around here to see how this is going to play out, as they are making a good move here off of turn number 2.
And for the back in the pack here, Leonard West in the 78 does have some pressure from the rear end. 65 of Marty Ray. Marty Ray did start in the 2nd place spot, but went all the way back to the 10th place spot and trying to work his way back up to the front and overtaking 78 of Leonard West as we speak. He did tap the apron off, turn 4, which did slow him down quite a bit, but despite that, he still makes a pass successfully against Leonard West, and that bumps him up to 9th place, and the caution flies here on lap 22.
Well, as we pull up our Dre broadcast and replay, we are going to focus, looks like on the 36 of Jason Eisenhower here. As we are looking here coming in, he is just running mid-line here, coming through the turn. I think he hits that bump and gets shot around the 97 of Garrett Robertson up into the outside wall. But that is just going to be a single car spin right now, Sean.
Oh, absolutely. Great job by everybody of avoiding that the best they can. Unfortunately for Jason Eisenhower, he will have to go down the pit road to get that machine straightened out here on lap number 20. Well, actually, it looks like he's being shown 3 laps down, and the leaders are now on lap number 23. But we are being led by 19 of Andy Starcher. We have Cody McFadden in 2nd place, Ralph van der Forst 3rd, Waylon Williams 4th, and Caleb Daniels in the 5th place position. By the looks of it, the drivers who have the most laps on their tires go from all the way from Cody McFadden down to the 88 of Brandon Slow with about 13 laps on their tires. And something tells me these drivers, Dave, will be staying out.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to stay out, elect not to go down pit road here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here on our 3rd caution of the night. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucas Oil 200, part of round 5 of the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series, brought to you by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics, iBog, or IBOG. Check them out at ibog.co with Jason Allison. Well, going back to the race here at the Lucas Oil 200, we still have the 19 of Andy Starcher in the lead, the 6'4 of Cody McFadden being shown second, Ralph Van der Voort third, Waylon Williams fourth, and the 10 of Caleb Daniels in the 5th place position. And so far ahead, everybody, this caution did decide to stay out, except for the drivers. Well, we had Damian Crump down pit road, and also the 25 of Timothy McBrayer and Jason Anderson, who is still on pit road as we speak. But other than that, 3 of the 28 drivers in tonight's race did pit in, but everybody else stayed out. And we just might be coming to 1 to green this time by. Yep, the lights on the pace car do turn off, so that means that we are now 1 to green. But everybody here so far trying to looks like something's we have some confusion going on in the on the racetrack. Race officials are trying their best to get everybody bunched back up. Looks like Rick Mason got bumped up to 2nd place, and Andy Starcher still in 1st. So we'll see how it cycles out. Yep, looks like the drivers are finally now bunching up double wide here, so we might be going green. We should be going green this time by. The pace car will be leaving the racing surface. Yes, the pace car leaves the surface and they open it down. The leaders, that is. We have Cody McFadden and the 19 of Andy Starcher here on at the start finish, and they go back down single file. The 8 of Williams trying to play catch up to be 3rd in line here. 88 running slow right on his rear end. Ralph Van der Voort taking the 59 of David White for position. And they are now back pretty much single file. And for the back in the pack, the 5 of Gary Woodward's right now staying low, letting everybody by.
Yeah, he's just riding, trying to stay out of trouble. He's got a little bent right there in the back of his back deck air. So he looks like he's got a little rear end damage, but he is just trying to keep his car as clean as possible. We do have 170 laps tonight, so we still have 141 laps to go here at Dover.
They do have a battle going on to 78 of Leonard West, who just let the 57 of Hunter McDaniel go. Hunter McDaniel's next victim here will be the 81 of Travis Pry, and that's going to be for the 13th place position. Going back up front right now, we have 64 of Cody McFadden and Andy Starcher here, nose to tail, and Cody McFadden was able to get around the 19 of Andy Starcher the last time we last checked on them. And we are showing the 18 of Rick Mason in the lead. And speaking of Rick Mason, he is being shown behind the 40 of Joshua Gillen, and Joshua Gillen is the last car on the lead lap. All 5 Tommy Massa riding single file behind 41 of Dennis St. Germain, 25 of Timothy McGregor gonna go low to let 41 of Dennis go by without a fight. And let's ride on the in car with Ralph Van der Voort, just so we can watch a full lap around Dover. Do watch him set up the 88 of running slow here, entering turns 1 and 2, and he makes a pass successfully off the exit of turn 2. He finally clears him, and he will have some clean air here, catching up to his next victim, the 8 of Waylon Williams. And so far, Ralph just riding that bottom lane and exiting to the high sideline. The fastest way around the track is going low to high, because you do scrub your tires less, and less friction equals more speed, more momentum that you keep. In the long run, you will benefit from that. And going back up front there for the 8 of Williams, he is riding behind the 19 of Andy Starcher, who is in turn riding behind the 64 of Cody McFadden. And the gap in between these drivers is just pretty much consistent every single lap.
Yeah, they are just getting a feel for each other. We are early into this race. 137 laps remaining here of a 170 lap total race here at the Monster Mile Dover International Speedway, home of Miles the Monster.
The battle going on the track between the 10 of Caleb Daniels and the 88 of Brandon Slow, who are side by side here in between turns number 1 and 2 on the exit of 2 there. 88 of Brandon Slow did back off to give the 10 of Caleb some room, because the war does claim drivers on the exit of 2, and the caution has flown here on lap 35. We'll back up and see who might have been involved.
Well,
the 18 of Rick Mason, Dave, was spun out sideways on the track.
Well, as we take a look here, looks like the 20 started with the 25 machine of Timothy McBrayer. Got up into that wall there. The 18 tried to avoid it, locked his brakes up, kind of slid down into the inside wall. But Timothy McBrayer is going to get the real most damage errors. We are going to rewind it here, taking a look at Timothy. See if we can see, yep, Monster Miles just got another victim.
Yeah, absolutely. Second driver getting claimed by the wall off turn number 4. But yep, going back up front here, we do have the it's showing the 18 of Rick Mason in the lead, with 6-12 Cody McFadden second, 19 of Andy Starcher third, the 8 of Waylon Williams fourth, and Ralph Vanderforst in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5. And so far we have Rick Mason, Cody McFadden, Waylon Williams, Ralph Vanderforst, and Caleb Daniels. These drivers have 27 laps on their tires. That's more than everybody else out there. And we do have 6-5 of Marty Ray going down pit road this time by for some service. And we have one driving in the wave around the pace car. It's going to be the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who was unfortunately involved in one of the wrecks that happened off turn 2 there. But he's now back on the lead lap here on lap number 39. So very, very nicely done on his part. So he will still stay in it to win it. And this gives us some time for a race interview. So let's focus on the 59 of David White. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 59 of David White up here. That's good. Go up there, David. David White, get a go up there, bud. Unfortunately, we're not able to get communications with 59 of David White, but we will keep trying before the race is over. Let's see if we want to green yet. If not, we will pass it on to someone else down the line. Let's focus on the 10 of Caleb Daniels. We are joined by the 10 of Caleb Daniels up here. That's good. Up there, Caleb.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Well, Caleb, so far just noticing you trying to stay out of trouble, but trouble does seem to be finding you every now and then. But how's everything going so far?
It's good, man. Yeah, I'm trying to stay out. I got in a little bit on that first wreck they had, but other than that, so far so good. Just trying to stay up front and clean.
Oh, that sounds good, brother. Doing an amazing job so far. And how's the car handling out there? Because it seems like turn 2, some cars are pushing off the exit of 2 and 4.
It is pushing really bad in the center when the tires get down, but got these new slicks on, so I should be able to go in there pretty good.
Oh, copy that. Very, very glad to hear that. But brother, look forward to seeing you further back up there, battling these guys, and most importantly, stay out of trouble and finish tonight's race. You are headed the right direction, buddy, and keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's the plan.
And that was the 10 of Caleb Daniels, currently being shown in the 11th place position. And we do have a lot of drivers behind the pace car here. We have 41 Denison Germain, 48 Christopher Smith, the 13 of Eli Green, and the 11 of Ken Ladd. All these drivers behind the pace car are going to be getting at least one lap back once we go 1 to green, and most of the drivers here will have Adam Eisenhower and Ken Ladd being shown 2 laps down. So they're going back to 1 lap down, and looking at Dennis and Jermaine, the 41, and the 05 of Tommy Amasi. These drivers will be back on the lead lap, and off they go. We are now back 1 to green here, being led by 6'4" of Cody McFadden. Ralph Van der Voort right behind him again. 8 of Williams on the outside with the help of the 19 of Andy Starch, and we'll be going green this time by, and once we start finishing, we're going to be having 129 laps remaining.
Yeah, most definitely, as you said, we are being led by the 64 of Cody McFadden. Waylon Williams on the outside, getting ready to go green here on lap 42 here at the Monster Mile. Dover International for the K&N Pro Series, sponsored by iBog.co. Pace car is now off. Cody McFadden jumps on that throttle, catches the 8 of Waylon Williams sleeping, but Ralph Van der Voort saw it coming as he is going to get, he is going to let the 8 of Waylon Williams get down in front of him.
For the back behind in the 12 of Crump, challenging the 88 of Running Slow for the 5th place spot. Damien Crump was on heavy damage on his machine. Running Slow tries to tap him, goes back high to try and set him up for the exit of 4. But Running did drift way too high, lost a lot of speed, a lot of momentum. They has to back off. The 12 of Damien Crump does maintain that 5th place position. And for the back in the pack, the 10 of Caleb Daniels overtaking the 88 of Running Slow as we speak as well. From the freight train.
Yeah, these guys are trying to get a little single file here as we are now here with laps remaining here of 128 laps. Still yet to see any green flag pit stops, but I think we're going to start seeing them as these guys are running pretty much single file at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. These drivers trying to save some tires for the long run and trying to set themselves up for some green flag pit stops once we do have those. And at this point, the driver with the most laps on his tires is the 41 of Dennis and Jermaine, who chose to stay out to get away from the pace car, and the lights on the pace car turn on. We are back here under caution. We'll back up and see what might have been involved.
Looks like that is going to involve the 86 of Adam Eisenhower here as we are going to pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay. Focusing on the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. Looks like he is running the inside there. He had to check up a little bit because the 36 and some contact made, and around he goes. That is also going to involve the 78 machine of Leonard West.
Yeah, absolutely, very unfortunate indeed. And also some drivers were able, some drivers did tag him as they were spinning, namely 41 of Dennis St. Germain and the 25 of Timothy McBrayer. And some drivers most likely are happy to see this caution, like 41 of Dennis St. Germain, who will be able to go down the pit road and get 4 times a full tank of gas because he was the driver with the most laps on his tires, like I talked about before the caution came out, having 27 laps on his tires. So now he'll be back up to pace with everybody else, but going back up front, still being led by Cody McFadden. We do have 8 of Waylon Williams right behind him, Ralph Van der Voort 3rd, Andy Starcher 4th, and the 12 of Damien Crump in the 5th place spot. And so far that does round up the top 5.
Yeah, as we are being led here by the 64 Cody McFadden, leading 11 laps so far here tonight. He has got Waylon Williams right behind him, Ralph Van der Voort, Andy Starcher, Damien Crump. Rounding out your top 5 here is, looks like these driver Miles the Monster is causing a major ruckus out here on the track.
Oh, absolutely. This is a different beast compared to what we came from last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Some drivers did talk about that as well. This track would be very different. It is a driver's track, which is something totally different. Unfortunately, we have lost one driver, 86 of Adam Eisenhower, very unfortunate indeed. And we have one driver who got the wave around the pace car, say 11 of Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd going from 2 laps down back to 1 lap down here on lap 47.
Yeah, that is going to put us 25 cars. No, that is going to put us 19 cars here on the lead lap tonight.
Absolutely, 19 cars on the lead lap and about 8 cars a lap or more down. So we'll be seeing a lot of drivers battling heavily. We have Ken Ladd, Christopher Smith, Leonard West, Eli Green, Jason Eisenhower, Timothy McBrayer, and David Schneier. These drivers, actually speaking of David Schneier, I haven't spoken much of him tonight. He did have some bad luck being shown here in 27th place, 10 laps down behind the pace car. So he will be getting 1 lap back. Once we go 1 to green, we'll be back down to 9 laps down by Timothy McBrayer, Jason Eisenhower, Eli Green, Leonard West, Christopher Smith, and Ken Ladd. These drivers all will be racing for that lucky dog to try and get their laps back before the night is over. The night is still young, and the race is far from over, not even halfway yet. So a lot of things can happen. But so far, 6-4 Cody McFadden being content with leading.
Yeah, but as you said, we still got 123 laps remaining, so we'll see if we get these guys settled down, get a good green flag run here, and lap times are showing right about 21 to 22 second lap times. So these guys definitely can put down some good laps here. We just got to get settled down, get loosed up in our seats here, and hopefully, as I said, see a long green flag run.
Yep, these drivers right now are just pretty much warming up to these cars, and once they get used to the handling of the cars against this racing surface, the Dover International Monster Mile, like Dave had pointed out, things definitely will change, and the lights of the pace car do turn off. 34th David Schneier gets around the pace car back to 9 laps down here on lap 49, and we are now back 1 to green once again. Cody McFadden and Rob Van der Forst behind him, and he starts behind the 8 of Waylon Williams. Same restart as we had, like the previous restart that we just had a couple of laps back, but we are now back 1 to green. The drivers getting bunched up nice and tight. The 12 of Damian Crump beat up in every way possible. But that machine has come a long way in tonight's race.
Yeah, the pit crews are definitely making their money's worth here tonight, Sean.
Oh yeah, the more damage these cars get, the more money they make, the more they smile. These drivers will try their best to not make the pit crews too happy, too excited about that. And we are now entering turns number 3 and 4, going green. This time, by when we cross start finish, we're going to be having 121 laps remaining. The pace car dips off. Cody McFadden is still holding pace speed. He puts it down for the 8. Williams will follow. He does see it coming. The 19 of Andy Starcher right now caught sleeping. And Ralph Van der Forst will benefit from that and still maintains that 3rd place spot. The 12 of Damian Crump right now holding up. He's sitting on Hunter McDaniel for the 5th place position. Hunter will back off, let him have it, and right behind him being the 12 of Damian Crump, who are both catching the 19 of Andy Starcher there. It looks like Andy Starcher was a roadblock, but Andy Starcher did end up putting the hammer down the floor, not his pace. Oh, Andy Starcher smacks the wall off turn 4. He does blame another victim there. So the bump did end up shooting him up there to the wall, but he was able to hit it and stay out of traffic. But right now continues to get freight trained by everybody.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That wall will slow you down and allow a lot of cars the momentum to get around you. As you see with the 19 of Andy Starcher now dropping back into the 10, as he is now getting passed by the 4 of Michael Snow.
Yeah, but Michael Snow new to the top 10 here on lap number 52. He is being shown in 9th place behind Running Slow, actually behind the 31 of Andrew Riley. So it looks like Michael Snow was actually able to get around Running Slow and bumped himself up into the 8th place position, coming all the way back from the 18th place spot. That is half his spots gained. Very nice done on his part. The 88 of Running Slow with a huge run, trying to drive it in hard to take back that 8th place position. Running Slow right now, tired of being freight trained by everybody, upping his game. And we're taking the 4 of Michael Snow as we speak. For the back behind them, we do have 59 of David White making some moves against the 81 of Travis Prime, trying to set himself up against the 19 of Andy Starcher, and that's going to be for the 10th place spot. David White trying to get back to the 10th place spot, or back in the top 10, because he did start in 10th place tonight, and got bumped up for the back in the pack there due to some incidents.
Yeah, the 81 there of Travis Pryor, as we seen him, he had started back in, let's see if I can see here, I'm not sure of the position, but he started back in the, oh boy, he started back in 29th position, has made his way up here into 12, so he is making his way here through the field, but looks like tire wear is starting to take effect as we see the 19 of Andy Starcher go around the 65, also around. That is going to bring out another caution here at Dover International Speedway. We are going to focus on the 19 of Andy Starcher here as we are replaying. He is running high. Looks like he got into that wall again and just bounced down in front. The 65 of Marty Ray also involved. The 41 in the 25 machine of Dennis St. Germain and Timothy McBrayer also involved in that as well.
Absolutely very, very unfortunate indeed for all drivers involved in 19 of Andy Starcher having a rough night. Those walls just keep trying to claim his car each and every time with big hugs. Unfortunately, can't stay off him. He's been trying his best though. Unfortunately, some drivers were involved in that. Once he bounced off it, he did save it. But a lot of traffic behind him did get into him. Very, very unfortunate. Right now, Andy Starcher is getting towed down the pit road, and hopefully he does have one of his two backup cars, so he can still stay in it to win it. And going back up front here, we are being led by Cody McFadden, who has led everybody down pit road as we speak, and nobody so far is staying out. Actually, we have one driver staying out. It's going to be the 40 of Joshua Gillen. And Joshua Gillen here leading his first lap of the night on lap number 58. After starting back there in the 15th place spot. And looking at Joshua Gillen, he does have 19 laps on his tires. But he most likely will be going down the pit road once he leaves the lap, once he gets that point. We have some drivers here in front of the 40 of Joshua Gillen trying to get their laps back the hard way. The 13 of Eli Green being one of the drivers. Eli Green having some rough start here to tonight's race at Dover. We'll pull through before it's over. And we also have the 36 of Jason Eisenhower back here on the racing surface, being shown 3 laps down. Unfortunately, we have lost 2 more drivers. Dennis St. Germain, actually 3 more drivers. Dennis St. Germain, David Schneer, and Adam Eisenhower. We do look forward to seeing these drivers back again next week at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it's going to be a major change next week coming from Dover going to Texas. Texas, we will see some high speeds, so can't wait for next week, but these drivers got to be able to make it through this week to get to next week, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And at the same, the one thing that Texas has in common with this track Dover is that turn 2 does sneak up on the drivers. The wall is very close on the exit of turn 2 there. So we should, just like tonight, we're expecting to see a lot of drivers getting claimed by turn 2, but so far turn 4 has claimed most of them. But at Texas, that turn 2 is the one that claims most of the drivers. And going back the track here, Cody McFadden was able to take back the race lead, as we did have Joshua Gillen go down to pit road for some service after getting bonus points for leading a lap. William Williams comes out second, Ralph Van der Forst third, Hunter McDaniel fourth, and the 12 of Damian Crump in the 5th place spot. And Damian Crump just electing to use the damaged machine, because so far he's doing well with it. And Damian Crump as well has come a long way in tonight's race, from 19th place to 5th as we speak. Joshua Gillen being shown 6th. So he has come from 15th place to 6th. And Travis Price still maintaining, being able to stay in the top 10 from 29th to 8th place so far. Andrew Riley here back in the top 10 from 17th. And it's currently 9th. And the 4 of Michael Snow starting 18th and currently 10th. Gaining 8 spots overall, and we now have only 18 drivers on the lead lap. And the last car on the lead lap is going to be the 18 of Rick Mason, and the first car lap down the 48 of Christopher Smith.
Well, as they come across the start-finish line, we are back 1 to green here. These guys, definitely I agree with you there, Pat T. These guys do have their hands full tonight. Miles the Monster is making himself known here at Dover. is we are currently now got 18 cars still in the lead lap. Christopher Smith in that lucky dog position, 1 lap down, just on the verge of getting back on the lead lap.
Oh yeah, once caution comes out, Christopher Smith will be getting his lap back. And the 13 of Eli Green there, I believe Eli Green was able to get 1 lap. Yes, he was, so he's now back down to 1 lap down. So 13 of Eli Green and the 48 of Christopher Smith will be going at it for the lucky dog for the next caution. The caution does come out, as right now here we are entering turn 4. The pace car dips off. Cody's still holding pace speed here. The 66 of Ralph Vandervoort on his rear end. The 64 of McFadden puts it down the floor. The 8 of Waylon Williams does his caught sleeping here. Hunter McDaniel was rear ended him. Had to back up to avoid causing trouble. Ralph Vandervoort will benefit from Waylon Williams' mistake there in terms of a second place spot here before turn number 2 for the back in the pack. Edwin Travis Pryor here overtaking the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Caleb Daniels right now staying high to get up to speed, and he is able to clear the 4 of Michael Snow.
Yeah, look at that. The 81 of Travis Pryor moving almost into the top 5, sitting there in 6th position. He is a man possessed. He wants to get up front. He wants to battle these guys here for the lead. As we are now just 109 laps remaining here at Dover.
And we do have a driver trying to make some moves here. It's going to be the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Caleb was trying to set up the 81 of Travis Pryor. But Travis goes into the wall of turn 4. He's able to hang on to it somehow. I'm not sure how he did that. But he will be freight trained because of that. Some heavy damage on the right side of that machine here off turn 2. He backs off as the 4 of Michael Snow was pushing high. And looks like Travis did back off to let him maintain it to avoid causing trouble. And the 88 of Brandon Slow here is in this mix, trying to make some moves again of his own. Brandon Slow trying to make his name known here in the top 10. We're behind the 81 of Travis Pryor, the 4 of Michael Snow on the outside line. They all go down the bottom lane, and the 88 of Brandon Slow now has not just been 4 back in line behind Garrett Robinson, who is in the 10th place spot. Garrett Robinson getting his laps back and being back on the lead lap here in the 10th place spot, trying to occupy the inside of the 81 of Travis Pryor, at least trying to get up to him so he can try and challenge him for the 9th place spot. But the 88 of Brandon Slow continues to drive it in hard in the turns.
Yeah, it looks like our top 5 here, all single file. Back here to 6 to 10 of Caleb Daniels, also single file, Andrew Riley. Oh, we got some contact between the 4 and the 88 here, and that is going to bring out another caution here at Dover. As we pull up the Dre broadcast and replay, we are going to take a look here at the 4 of Michael Snow. As it looked like he got loose there coming out of turn number 4 once again, as he was battling, looked like his teammate the 88 there, and just gets up into that outside wall and looks like he blows his motor.
Yeah, looking at it right now, it looks like Michael Snow is getting trying to coast down the pit road. Some heavy smoke from the rear end. And the smoke just disappeared. That's a sign of him oh, nope, he's clutching it in to try and avoid blowing his motor. So that means his temps are getting nothing but higher, and he does know that. But he hopefully will be able to make it down the pit road and avoid going a lap or more down because of that. But going back up front, Cody McFadden still leading. Ralph Vandervoort 2nd, 12 of Damian Crump 3rd, Hunter McDaniel 4th, and Waylon Williams rounding up the top 5. So far, looking at it right now, the next driver in line once again for the Lucky Dog is the 48 of Christopher Smith, who gets his lap back as we speak. Very, very nicely done by the 48 of Chris Smith.
Yeah, that's going to put him back on the lead lap, now giving us 19 cars on the lead lap. Next car lap down is going to be Eli Green in the 13 machine, 2 laps down. Andy Starcher, 3 laps down. Jason Eisenhower, 3 laps down. And Leonard West, 3 laps down.
And unfortunately, we have lost one more driver, Timothy McBride. Very, very unfortunate. Timothy did have a bad race, did have a bad start to tonight's race. But look forward to him having a better race and seeing him next week at Texas Motor Speedway for the Rocket Chassis 142. The Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series, brought to you by iBog, which is iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics. Check them out at ibog.co or ibog.co with Jason Allison, who did provide the graphics that you see right before you You're here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. But up front here, we do have the lights and pace cars still turned on, and so far we have some more drivers here in the top 20. Actually, we do have the looks like the 5 of Gary Woolbert making his way up to the 15th place spot from 25th, gaining 10 spots this far. Tommy Amasi going from 20th place to 12th as we speak, gaining 8 spots overall. And the 18 of Rick Mason from 24th place to 17th, maintaining the top 20.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Dre Broadcasting Network as we are bringing you the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series, sponsored by iBog.co. But I do actually have an announcement to make here tonight. Starting this Thursday, Dre Broadcasting will be live with the Upper Edge Racing League, and we will also be live on the portal that night. So we will be live on the iRacing Live portal 2 nights a week on Sunday and Thursday nights. Thursday we will be going live at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have not, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you can be notified of all of our live races throughout the week.
And Dave, status check on the 5 of Gary Woolbert. He still has the damage sustained early on in the race. A little bit of the rear dent you talked about early on in tonight's race, but despite that, he's still been able to keep up the pace and avoid going a lap or more down, just pretty much staying alive. He's a driver we always talk about every single race. We highlight how he masters patience. He's always in the back early on in the race, but then is there when it really matters the most. Like last week, we noticed he gained 20 spots over, starting 27th and finishing in the 7th place spot. So it's very, very good to see. So tonight, most likely we'll be doing the exact same thing, but we are now back 1 to green. The 12 of Damian Crump behind Cody McFadden. On the outside is Ralph Vanderforce with Hunter McDaniel on his rear end. We are entering turn 4, going green this time by with 101 laps remaining. Well, Dave, do the honors.
Well, as the pace car gets ready to make its way off of pit road onto pit road, it is on pit road. This is going to be controlled by the 64 of Cody McFadden as he is coming to the start stretch. He gets down on that throttle. Man, I tell you what, that outside lane is having a rough time on these restarts as the 12 of Damian Crump is going to get in front of the 66 of Ralph Vandervoort. With Waylon Williams, they're getting down to the inside and coming away with that 4th position, dropping Hunter McDaniel back into the 5th place spot.
And the 10 of Caleb Daniels running, trying to hold off the 81 of Travis Pry. Both drivers heavy damage on their machines, but despite that, still countering it by keeping their feet down to the floor on that gas pedal. The 10 of Caleb Daniels pushes way wide, and one first row. We benefit from that. Takes it around the exit of turn 2, and that's going to change spots. Caleb Daniels going down to 7th. And Travis Pry up into the 6th place position for the back of the pack. 31 Andrew Riley pulling on the 11 of Ken Ladd. These drivers riding single file. 59 of David White in this line. All 5 Tommy Amasi right behind him.
Yeah, but you can't count out. We got the 65 there of Marty Ray and also the 97 of Garrett Robinson. We've seen them both run real strong here as the 97 of Garrett Robinson is now working all over that back bumper of David White in the 59 machine. As David White is holding the preferred racing line and kind of holding them off. But tell you what, here comes the 65 of Marty Ray. He is going to follow the 97 of Garrett Robinson to the inside of David White. And it looks like he is going to take away that position away from David White and move into the number 11 spot.
And speaking of Marty Ray did have a rough start to last week's race at Charlotte as well, and was able to get his lap back. He was 1 lap down by the end of it, but before it ended, the caution that ended it with 3 laps to go, he was able to get his lap back and was able to be the last car on the lead lap. Very, very impressive on his part. He did keep a clean machine and was eligible for that lucky dog. And right now he is trying to catch up once again to the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who is trying to apply pressure to the 31 of Andrew Riley, who is moved up the track by Garrett, who will look to his inside and gets around him successfully on the exit of turn 2. His next victim, the 11 of Ken Ladd. Oh, we have some fun up front. The 12 of Trump was almost turned sideways. Holy cow, what a save. Holy cow, Dave, let's see if we can. Let's back it up off the exit of 4 and Damian Crump and see what happened.
Well, we are going to pull up, as you said, the Dre Broadcasting replay, focusing on the 12 of Crump. We are going to take a look at this magnificent save here, as he was working with the with Ralph Vandervorst right behind him here, coming out of the turn. Looks like that bump might have got him a little. Yep, he is dirt tracking a little bit. He is going to have to let off. He is going to lose some positions, but he isn't going to sustain no damage, as that is going to move him back into the 6 and move the 81 of Travis Pryor up into the number 5 position.
Oh, absolutely, he was not touched. He did tap the apron, which sent his car sideways, and Ralph Vandervorst was somehow, surprisingly, able to stay off him. Very, very impressive. He did check up, he backed off to give him some room to save it, and luckily enough, Damian Crump was able to hang on to that machine and avoid causing trouble. And right now, as we speak, Damian Crump is getting freight trained, going from 2nd place to 6th, and continues dropping Travis, the 6'5" Marty Ray to get a running. As we speak, David White is trying to get a run on the outside line. All 5 coming us behind 6'5", or behind 59 of David running. In this line, they do have the 48 of Christopher Smith.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not sure. I'm seeing a lot of smoke on the track here. It must be a car going down pit road smoking here. I think it is going to be the 10 machine of Caleb Daniels. Yes, he is smoking heavily as he is working his way down onto pit road as we are staying green flag. I wasn't sure if it was just my eyes playing tricks on me, Sean, but it looked like somebody was having a smoke show there out there on the track.
Absolutely, I'm glad you actually caught that, because I was wondering the exact same thing. And yeah, looking at Caleb Daniels, he did end up smacking the inside wall, entering turn 1 after making contact with the 12 of Damian Crump, who did bounce off the wall after his incident there. And after his Caleb smacked that wall, it did shoot some serious smoke from the rear end. And as we speak, Caleb Daniels was able to get his brand new backup car, so hopefully he still has one of his 2 handy for this race before the race is over. And Caleb is now back up to speed here, trying to get 2 laps back, because he did lose some time and did lose some laps while down on pit road, but going for the backup from the 81 of Travis Pryor right now, trying to catch up the 66 of Ralph Vandervorst. 11 of Ken Ladd behind the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who in turn is behind the 10 of Caleb Daniels. And Caleb running, making moves against these drivers, getting his lap back in hard. Get out of my way, I'm trying to get my lap back, I'm trying to make up as much time as I can. And the 81 of Travis Pryor will go high to let him by.
Well, Sean, I tell you, looking here, our leader, the 64 of Cody McFadden, he has got 26 laps since his last pit. Same with Waylon Williams, Hunter Daniel, and Ralph Vandervorst. Travis Pryor running right about 27 laps. Garrett Robinson running 17. So we should start seeing maybe some green flag pit stops. I'm not sure. It is a small track, as this is only a 1 mile track. But we are starting to approach the halfway point here. Actually, we are at halfway point pretty much here at Dover International in the K&N Pro, sponsored by iBalg, and for the Lucas Oil 200.
Yeah, Dave, I'm glad you talked about those pit stops. And looking at it right now, we should expect to see some green flag pit stops in the next, I'll give it a 10 lap interval in between laps 30 and 40 on their tires. Oh, the caution flies here on lap 83. Gonna back it up and see what might have been involved in this one.
I do believe that is going to be the 65 of Marty Ray as we go back to our Dre Broadcasting Network instant replay here. We are going to focus on the 65 as he was running behind the 31 of Andrew Riley. Looks like coming out of the turn, he just broke major loose, but he was able to keep it down low on the inside wall. Everybody was able to get around him here on lap 87.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate indeed for 6'5" of Marty Ray, and great job by him being able to save it and slamming on those brakes to avoid the machine rolling onto the racing surface to take out even more cars and cause even more damage or carnage. Speaking of Marty Ray, he is behind the pace car right now. Looks like he's trying to lead 1 lap so he can be able to... Oh, let's see who's behind that. That's Cody McFadden. Yep, so he's getting his lap back the hard way. Actually, avoiding going a lap down, and the 78 of Leonard West will follow him. As we speak, Cody McFadden will lead everybody down pit road this time by.
Yeah, they are going to come down here on the pit road as they are going to get some green flag pit stops. As we were talking, it's about time. Tire wear is key here on this 1 mile track. Robert Smith out there in the chat saying, "Go Robinson, go, push it hard, down and push it hard." So we have some good fans out there rooting for a lot of drivers. Definitely Colton Lane out there also rooting on David White. So, you know, we've got a lot of good drivers here in the Extreme Motorsports K&N Pro Series sponsored by Eyeball. A lot of up-and-comers here in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com League. So I have a feeling that maybe next season we'll see some of these guys move up into the Truck Series.
Oh, without a doubt, Dave. Yep, we're going to see a lot of drivers. Like, for example, take the Truck Series last season. The 6 of Wetmore was able to advance into the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, which is the highest series here at the Extreme Motorsports 99. It is the best of the best. They do run on Thursday nights on the OSR Network, Online Sim Racing Network, with Joe White and Ryan W. Daniels. They are live on Wednesdays, Xfinity Series, and Thursday nights, the Cup Series. So be sure to take a look at or check out Online Sim Racing Network with Joe White on YouTube. And yeah, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, once again for the Lucas Oil 200. And we do see you guys typing in the chat. So if you guys have any favorite drivers out there who you think is gonna win, simply let us know, and we will say your name.
But going back to the race, looks like Cody McFadden is going to be the leader off of pit road. He does have the 10 and the 19 in front of him, but they are out there trying to get laps back. They are both currently 2 laps down. Once they get around the pace car, they will be back to 1 lap down. That'll give us 4 drivers a lap down with Marty Ray and Eli Green. So we'll have a 4-car battle here for the Lucky Dog if there is another caution here at Dover International.
And speaking of Eli Green, Dave, he was able to get 1 lap back. He did get the Lucky Dog around that pace car, so he did go from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. So very, very impressive on his part, being able to keep his machine clean, make him eligible for that Lucky Dog. And next is going to be him against the 6'5" of Marty Ray, battling it out or going at it to get that Lucky Dog. Going back up front here, we are still being led by Cody McFadden, and the lights on the pace car just might be turning off this time by. Let's see. Yep, the lights on the pace car do turn off. We are back 1 to green. 19 Andy Starcher and the 10 of Caleb Daniels all get around the pace car. They are now back to 1 lap down from 2 laps down. So that gives us 4 drivers racing for the Lucky Dog. 4 drivers racing for the Lucky Dog once again. Marty Ray, Eli Green, Caleb Daniels, and Andy Starcher. In this restart, we do have Cody McFadden with the help of the 57 Hunter McDonough on his rear end, the 8 of Waylon Williams on the outside with the help of the 66 of Ralph van der Forst. And this is going to be quite the restart. Ralph van der Forst there. He's the high side himself here at the Extreme Motorsports Pro K&N Series so far this season with the first 5 races. He does love the outside line. He definitely does know how to make it work. And Gary Robinson in 5th place and Andrew Riley right beside him.
Well, Sean, with 81 laps to go, 22-second lap time, so we are doing just about 3 laps every minute, so not really too much time here as the pace car now dips off, still being led by the 64 of Cody McFadden. 8 of Waylon Williams on the outside. Cody McFadden puts it down, but William Williams saw it coming this time. He is going to maintain that number 2 position. Hunter McDaniel still there on the inside, under fire from Ralph van der Forst. No, Hunter McDaniel now challenging Waylon Williams for that number 2 spot as he is going to be able to clear it.
And Gary Robinson right now gets around 6 of Ralph van der Forst, and that bumps him up to the 4th place spot. The 12 of Damien Crumpers will try to set up the 66 of Ralph van der Forst for the 5th place position. For the back in the pack here, we do have the 88 of Brandon Slow behind the 48 of Christopher Smith. We do have the 05 Tommy Amasi, David White. These drivers single file next to each other. 81 Travis Pratt trying to make moves against the 805 of Tommy Amasi once he gets up to him. We have the 13 of Eli Green as well, trying to find his next victim in line. But Lucky Dog, the caution flies here on lap 91. We'll back up and see who might have been involved.
I do believe that's going to involve the 19 of Andy Starcher as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay here. We are going to rewind it back and see exactly what happened. No, it's not going to involve the 19 of Andy Sturgis. I'm not seeing exactly what brought out that caution, Sean. Are you seeing anything?
Oh, Dave, I actually was able to catch it, fortunately enough. It's between the 65 of Marty Ray. Let's focus on 65 of Marty Ray on the replay.
Yeah, contact between the 65 and the 40, and also it's going to collect the 10 machine of Caleb Daniels. So that's highly unfortunate there as Marty Ray is making his way down on the pit road.
And by looks of it, from further investigation, that was some bad net code between the 13 of Eli Green and the 65 of Marty Ray. We have one viewer in the chat there going for the 31. That's Andrew Riley, and that's from Sweetie 200409, going number 31. And Justin Sakira 31. You can do it, buddy. So the 31 of Andrew Riley definitely does have some fans. Well, going back to the race here, Cody McFadden on lap number 94, the leader, and we now have 77 laps remaining. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will take our second commercial break of tonight's race so we can get your second round of popcorn and refreshments. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucas Oil 200 for round 5 of the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro Can-N Series, brought to you by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics, iBog. Check them out at ibog.co with Jason Allison. We're going back to the race here. We still have Cody McFadden in the lead with the 8 of Williams on his rear end. Hunter on the outside of the help with the 97 of Garrett Robinson, and we are now 1 to green. The pace car dips off. McFadden puts it down to the floor. Hunter McDaniel sees it coming. The 8 of Williams tries to challenge the 97 of Garrett Robinson for the 3rd place position, and they do go back single file. 97 Robinson was able to take the 3rd place spot away from William Williams, who will try and fight him later on. The 12 of Damian Conrad trying to battle the 16 of Ralph Vanderforst for the 5th place spot.
Yeah, we've got battles all over the field here with 74 laps remaining here. I tell you what, Cody McFadden has been on point here tonight, leading 61 of the 98 laps we've led. Rick Mason leading 11, Waylon Williams leading 10, Andy Starcher 8, Andrew Riley 6, Gillen 1. So we have had a lot of people lead. Let's look at our race report. We have had 9 cautions here tonight and 7 lead changes here, so we have seen a lot of racing here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, a lot of racing this far, a lot of racing to come. And if the 612 Cody McFadden leads for the next, let's see, the next 3 to 5 laps, that will give him the more. He'll lead the most laps of the entire race, and nobody will be able to beat him once he crosses that line. And for the back in the pack, we do have the 59 of David White behind 48 of Christopher Smith, and Christopher Smith right now charging all over 11 of Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd was just did smack the wall off the exit one of the turns early on. He does still have the damage on the right side of his machine, but the 48 of Christopher Smith right now is charging on his rear view mirror and goes to his inside here on the front stretch.
Well, we are going to ride here on the cockpit here of David White. Watch him take a couple laps here from the cockpit view just to see how he has to work at wheel around this track.
You see him get a very, very smooth. Oh, and he hits the wall on the front stretch, but was able to bounce off it unharmed. No harm, down loses a little bit of speed. He's still able to maintain his position, but he does have someone catching up to him now. It's going to be the 05 of Tommy Mas, who just rides. Let him maintain it.
Yeah, that just shows you here when you're in the cockpit here at Dover how fast that wall can sneak up on you. You kind of want to get up close as possible to it to help with your speed, but you got to be careful because it will suck you right into that outside wall.
Oh, absolutely. These walls definitely do love the company, so they'll always take you in. They'll gladly take you in every time. These drivers trying their best to stay off them. We have some battles. The 11 of Ken Ladd getting freight train. The 48 of Christopher Smith was able to get around him. But right now, 11 of Ken Ladd trying to charge against him, trying to set him up in the turns, but fell short of turn 2. The 48 of Chris Smith will propel past him and make the gap even bigger. Most likely on the exit of turn 4. The 13 of Eli Green gets around the 05 of Tommy Amasi, and his next victim, the 59 of David White.
Yeah, the fans are going nuts out there, telling their favorite drivers to go on. Robert Smith rooting on the 97. Pat T is still there rooting on Travis Pryor, who's currently running there in 7th position. You got Hannah Schaefer, Sweetie, and Justin all rooting on the 31 machine of Andrew Riley, who's currently running right back there in 14th position. Here on lap 106 of 170, 65 laps remaining here at Dover International Speedway, home of Miles the Monster.
Speaking of Pat T, smooth is fast. Travis, that's absolutely right, Pat. Very nicely said. And speaking of Travis Pryor, Travis Pryor having a Sunday drive. His next victim is 6th of Ralph Vanderforst for position. And Travis riding in 7th place spot. He does have the 48 of Chris Smith, who was able to get around Ken Ladd, David White. So right now, but the gap so far between them is kept consistent. And the caution flies here on lap 107. We're going to back up and see what might have been involved.
Well, unfortunately, it does look like it's going to involve the 13 of Eli Green here. After he just got back on the lead lap, we're going to rewind it here on the Dre Broadcasting replay. He is riding on the outside there, coming out of turn number 2, coming into turn number 3, running just on the outside of the 59 of David White. Not sure if there was any contact or net code, but we are going to take a look from the blimp view as they are riding here, coming into turn. Looks like a little bit of contact. He is going to get some outside wall damage, but everybody else is going to be able to get around him. But unfortunately, he is going to blow his engine.
Yeah, absolutely. Very unfortunate indeed for Eli Green, but fortunately enough, he's able to go down a pit road with some heavy smoke, but he was able to make it. Well, he hasn't made it to his pit stop, but he has made it down to pit road. And everybody right now down pit road, getting some service, and we have one driver staying out, 31 of Andrew Riley, trying to lead at least one lap before most likely going to be going down pit road after this. But he has 15 laps on his tires so far, And we now have 62 laps remaining in tonight's race. So we should see at least one or two more pit stops. It's difficult to tell at this point. But maybe one more pit stop after this. In order for these drivers to be able to make it all the way. And once cross start finishes, it's going to pass over the lead to the 31 of Andrew Riley.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that there, Sean. This is only a mile track, so I don't know what their pit window exactly is going to be. We have seen guys run 30, just about a little over 30 laps, but unfortunately a caution came out, so we didn't get to see their full extent. Looks like Andrew Riley is going to stay out. He is going to be our new race leader. That is also going to move the 97. Garrett Robinson moving up into the second position there in front of Cody McFadden. Hunter McDaniel is going to be fourth. Waylon Williams fifth. Damian Crump sixth. Ralph Vandervoort seventh. Travis Pryor going to be in the eighth position. Christopher Smith in ninth. And Ken Ladd rounding out your top 10.
And speaking of Garrett Robinson, he is an amazing driver. You know, he does have some bad luck every now and then, but tonight it definitely has been his worst start here tonight at Dover. He was involved in a lot of incidents, but he's now back up here in the top 2 behind 31 of Andrew Riley, and he's not going to stop just there. He will try to overtake Riley for the race lead as soon as we do go green. And for the back in the pack, we do have looks like the 05 Tommy Amasi currently being shown 11th behind the 11 of Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd was getting freight trained during that last green flag run we just had, but is now was able to go down the pit road, get 4 tires, full tank of gas, and is now back out there with the maximum grip possible on those brand new set of tires. And for the back in the pack as well, the 40 of Joshua Gillen being shown 16th, the final car on the lead lap, and the first car lap down will be the 10 of Caleb Daniels.
Well, as they come out of turn 4, we are going to see if we are going to go back green, get the 1 to green here, as the pace car is approaching the start finish line, being led by the 31 of Andrew Riley. Looks like the lights on the pace car are off. We are 1 to green, getting ready to go back green flag racing with 59 laps once we take the green flag.
Yep, on this restart we do have the 31 of Andrew Riley in the lead with the help of the 57 Hunter McDaniel. He's electing to start on the outside line, and Garrett Robertson on the inside with the help of the 64 of Cody McFadden. And behind them they do have Hunter McDaniel and the 8, actually not Hunter McDaniel, but the 8 of Waylon Williams and the 12 of Damian Crump starting side by side. The 12 of Damian Crump was able to finally get his backup car after driving the longest time with a beat-up machine, was still being able to keep up the pace despite the damage. But so far currently riding in the 6th place spot, and not too far behind them they have the Ralph Vandervoort and the 81 of Travis Pryor. Christopher Smith 9th, and the 11 of Ken Ladd 10th, rounding up the top 10. The pace car dips off. Andrew Riley still holding pace speed on the outside line here. He puts it down before he does catch him off guard. Hunter McDaniel and Garrett Robinson going at it for the 2nd place spot. Cody McFadden and the 12 of Damian Crump going at it as well for that 4th place position. And the 12 of Crump was able to get in behind the 64 of Cody McFadden, who is charging against Garrett Robinson here on the exit of turn 2. They must make contact off it. The 97 of Garrett Robinson goes down low to avoid contact with the 57 Hunter McDaniel. And we do stay green. Up around 31 of Andrew Riley drifts way high. He is on all the tires, and he does lose the spot for the lead to the 57 of Hunter McDaniel. Andrew Riley right now getting freight train on the outside line, high and dry. Hunter McDaniel is on his inside. Actually, it's 97 of Garrett Robinson on his inside line. They will be battling side by side through turns number 3, and first is Cody McFadden will follow the 97 of Garrett Robinson. And Andrew Riley backs off to avoid getting claimed by the exit of turn 4, the wall on the exit of turn 4. And he gets tapped, a lap tap by the 12 of Damian Crump. It did get him a little bit squirrely, but not to worry, he was able to hang on to that machine somehow. And right now Damian Crump dumps him to follow the line of the 81 of Travis Pryor on the inside.
Yeah, Pat T is out there rooting this on here. It looks like Warhead Gaming has joined us, rooting on the 31 of Andrew Riley. But he is being freight trained as he is on older tires, running that high line there. Meanwhile, up front, Travis Pryor moving into the 4th position. Damian Crump running 5th. is Cody McFadden is now all over Garrett Robinson, trying to take away that number 2 position.
Cody goes to his inside game between turns 1 and 2. In between turns 1 and 2, he makes a pass successfully entering turn 1. On the exit of turn 2, he will have him. And his next victim is the leader, the 57 of Hunter McDaniel. Hunter McDaniel trying to make sure that 6'4 McFadden does not lead the most laps in tonight's race. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. I'm sure that's a little bit too late for that. But right now, Hunter McDaniel is doing an amazing job trying to increase the lead against the 6'4 of Cody McFadden in the second place position. That 97 of Garrett Robinson as well, trying to catch the 6'4 of Cody McFadden at the right side. The damage on his right side, most likely affecting the ability of the car at the turn.
Yeah, most definitely right there now in 5th, the 66 machine of Ralph Vandervorst, as he is trying to catch the 81 of Travis Pryor. Damian Crump back in 6th, Ken Ladd running in your 11th position. Waylon Williams, who we saw running up front most of the night back there in 8th. Christopher Smith is trying to get to the inside of him and take away that 8th spot, but just is unable to do it. Tommy Amassi running there, rounding out your top 10.
And there we did have some trouble on the track with the 97 of Garrett Robinson. He did smack the wall really hard on the exit of turn 2 the last lap, but he was somehow able to stabilize it or get it back under control, despite him being almost 90 degrees sideways compared to his normal racing surface or normal racing line. But that was good on his part. He did save it and lost. He did lose 3 spots. He went from 3rd place to 6th as we speak, and he's behind the 12 of Damian Crump, who just got around him as we spoke, and now has the 11 of Ken Ladd applying pressure.
Yeah, most definitely here. 51 laps remaining. It's pretty much go time. Figure 22 second lap time. So I don't know. Time's starting to run out there, Sean.
Absolutely, it's almost go time for these drivers, and with the from the calculations, we should see one more round of pit stops required for the drivers. We did see them going over 30 laps, just a little bit over 30 laps, but cautions were in that as well. So maybe just maybe a little bit less than that, but I should still expect to see at least one more round of green flag pit stops. And for the back in the pack, there we have the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, yep, going at it here. Oh, he bounces off the 1, gets to the 10 of Caleb Dennis, who then pits him unintentionally, and the caution will fly here on lap 118. Let's back up on 36 of Jason Eisenhower on replay.
Well, as we pull up the Dre broadcast and replay on the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, as he is running back here in the 19th position, he goes up a little high there, makes contact with that outside wall, comes down and makes contact with the 10 machine, gets spun around and gets some heavy damage, but everybody else is going to be able to get around him. Oh, nope, the 18 of Rick Mason's going to make contact with him there at the end.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for all drivers involved in it. And looking at it from further investigation, Dave, Jason Eisenhower kind of freaked out because the wall came way too close, way too fast at him. So he jerked the wheel to the left. But the 10 of Caleb Dennis was on his left. And the contact was made and had to end like that. Very unfortunate indeed. And Jason tonight having a very, very rough night. Very unfortunate for him. Also with his brother, the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, who has had an early night. He's being shown 81 laps down and retired for the night. And as we speak, Jason is on pit road, getting towed actually down to pit road. But going back up front, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel, but they're all down pit road, and one driver staying out is the 40 of Joshua Gillen.
Yeah, Joshua Gillen is going to lead some more laps here. He's got 15 laps on his tires. Looks like everybody pretty much behind him is going to be on fresher tires, except all the way back into 10th position, the 10 of Caleb Daniels there, who is trying to get back on the lead lap here.
Oh, absolutely. Just like we had seen the 31 of Andrew Riley early on, he did stay out while everybody else pitted in. Same instance as the 40 of Joshua Gillen. And it did not work out for the 31 of Andrew Riley because he did have less grip because the tires were gone. He had about 15 laps more on his tires compared to everybody else. In this case, the exact same thing as the 40 of Joshua Gillen, but Joshua Gillen is not yet the leader, so once he crosses the finish line, the lead will be passed on over to him. So it's only a matter of time before we see whether or not he pits in or stays out during the next lap. Yabe takes over the race lead here on lap 125. Hunter McDaniel right behind him second. Eli Green third. 81 Travis Pryor fourth. And the 64 of Cody McFadden in the 5th place spot. And that the 13 of Eli Green did take the pole here in practice. Started in 4th place position. Had some bad luck. Went 2 laps down early on. Was able to get both laps back on the lead lap here. And he didn't get the pole in practice for no reason. So we will be seeing him battling these guys heavily to try and win tonight's race. And for the back in the pack here, we do have the 5 of Gary Woolbot being shown in the 14th place, but just pretty much in a low profile, still with the same damage we last saw him with. The ding in his rear end, but despite that, still being able to stay on the lead lap, not losing any speed, not losing any spots whatsoever. The 8 of Waylon Williams being shown 15th, Andrew Riley 16th, and the 10 of Caleb Daniels, who will be getting the 1 lap back, and will be back on the lead lap as soon as the lights on the pace car turn off. And he has the 19 of Andy Starcher right behind him. Actually, Andy Starcher is going to be in line for the lucky dog when we have another caution. We have Leonard West being shown right behind him, 19th, 4 laps down, and Jason Eisenhower still on pit road, getting some service.
Well, meanwhile, we did see the 40 machine go down on the pit road. He is going to hand that lead over to the 57. Hunter McDaniel, Eli Green on the outside. Travis Pryor in that 3rd position. He has got Cody McFadden to his outside. Ralph Vanderforst and Garrett Robinson, they're in the 3rd row. Damian Crump, Ken Ladd, 4th row. Christopher Smith and Tommy Amassi, 5th row. Here for this restart, we are going to have 45 laps remaining here tonight.
40 laps remaining, and I believe we most likely will still have one more pit stop required for the drivers, because I've never seen any cars go past 40 laps. Maybe even, I've never seen any cars go past 40 laps on their tanks. So they'll most likely run out before that, but the pace car does dip off. Hunter McDaniel still holding pace speed. He puts it down before the 81 of Travis Pryor will follow. The freight train 13 of Eli Green, who will go to 3rd place here before they cross start finish line. Cody McFadden right now trying to challenge the success of Ralph Vanderforst, but Vanderforst has the first race entrance to turn 1, overtakes him, and behind Cody McFadden is the 12 of Damian Crump, flying for 6 of Cody McFadden inside of the success of Ralph Vanderforst for position.
Yeah, these guys are battling it out here. Is right there behind Damian Crump, we see the 97 of Garrett Robinson as well, and the 48 there of Christopher Smith. So they got a good little pack here, but it looks like the 97 of Garrett is going to get around the 66 of Ralph Vandervorst. He is now trying to get up and work his way around the 12 of Damian Crump.
And we have a cluster here all the way from the about the 3rd place spot back to about the 11th place position. He has 11 of Ken Ladd, 48 of Christopher Smith. We have Ralph Vanderforst, 97 of Garrett Robinson, 12 of Damian Crump, 64 of Cody McFadden. This looks like traffic around 5 p.m. During the weekdays, or I should say 4 p.m. rush hour traffic. These drivers just pretty much single file following each other. If one driver makes a mistake, it most likely will affect a lot of drivers behind them due to how close they are.
Well, it does look like the 81 of Travis Pryor was able to get around the 57 of Hunter McDaniel, but Hunter McDaniel's not giving up. He is right there, just waiting for a mistake to be made. Eli Green running 3rd, Cody McFadden 4th, Damian Crump rounding out your top 5 with 40 laps to go here at the Monster Mile.
This should be the first lap led by the 81 of Travis Pryor. Very, very nicely done, and that gives us even more lead changes. And Dave, how many lead changes is that now? Because last time we checked, it was 9 lead changes.
That we have had 12 lead changes so far tonight there, Sean.
Oh, thank you. So the lead changes are getting nothing but higher, and Hunter McDaniel will be trying his best to take it away. Oh, 81 of Pryor did drift way high. His car pushed before entering turn number 2, but he was able to still maintain the momentum, but that still did bring in Hunter McDaniel for the 2nd place spot, or who is in 2nd place with the lead. And for the back in the pack, the 8 of Waylon Williams right now, pretty much. I mean, we have a driver getting into the wall in front of 11 of Ken Ladd. The caution will fly here on lap 133. Very unfortunate indeed. Let's back up on Ken Ladd and see what happened.
Well, as we pull up our Dre broadcasting replay, we are going to focus on the 11 of Ken Ladd here. Looks like turn 4 got another victim. Monster of the Mile has stuck his hand out and claimed another car as he comes out of turn number 4, hits that outside wall and down onto the inside, but he is going to be the only one involved.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate indeed. Very, very rough night for Ken Ladd. Hopefully he has a better race here next week at Texas Motor Speedway. And what I've noticed about Ken Ladd, he is a driver who, when he has a bad race in the Pro K&N series, he always dominates in the Truck Series, which features on every Tuesday night. Tomorrow night we'll be having the Truck Series with Extreme Motorsports 99, the Bar Harbor 170. At the exact same track right here at Dover, but going back up front, we're still being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor, Hunter McDaniel 2nd, Eli Green 3rd, Cody McFadden 4th, and 12 of Damian Crump in the 5th place spot. By the looks of it, everybody staying out except for, we have some drivers pitting in. We have Eli Green, Garrett Robinson, Tommy Amasi, Waylon Williams, Gary Wubot, Caleb Daniels, Ken Ladd, all the drivers here pitting in. Next in line for the Lucky Dog will be, let's see, the 19 of Andy Starcher, who will be getting his lap back this time by as we speak. Yes, he will. He puts down the floor down to 2nd. And around the track he goes. Back on the lead lap. That's going to give us about 16 drivers on the lead lap. And we have one more driver behind the pace car. It's going to be the 4 of Michael Snow. Michael Snow has some bad luck here tonight as well, but he is still out there in it to win it. Very, very determined. Very, very good to see on that machine. You know, it's beat up. He is being shown 66 laps down, but he's still going out there trying to put down as many laps as he can. He's determined.
Yeah, most definitely. Here is we're coming up to the nitty gritty. 36 laps to go. Looks like our top 9 elected to stay out. Eli Green being the first here from the front to go down pit road, now running in the number 10 position.
Oh yeah, and Dave, something tells me that when these drivers pit, for all the drivers who pitted in during this caution, they all should be able to make it from now on, but the drivers who stayed out, it's questionable. The top 6 drivers stayed out, actually top 7 drivers. That includes Travis Pryor, Hunter McDaniel, Cody McFadden, Damian Crump, Ralph Vanderforst, Christopher Smith, and David White. These drivers did stay out, also including further back in the pack there, Andrew Riley and Brandon Slaw. Something tells me these drivers will not be able to make it because they now have about 13 laps from the last time they pitted.
Well, Sean, this is a mile track. I do believe they will be able to make it. Normally on a 2.5 mile track, we'll see 25 to 35 laps, but this is about 1.5 miles shorter, so I think these drivers will be able to make it, because I think if they were not into the green, they would have came down this time by here with just 35 laps remaining. Looks like we'll have about 33 laps to go once we take the green flag.
Yeah, that is a very, very good point indeed on your part. You're going to see exactly what happens once we go green. And now the drivers who stayed out, who will be at a disadvantage on the tires, they'll have 11 laps more on their tires. And looking at a track like this, it does really eat up those tires. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. But at the same time, we have the top 9 drivers who stayed out, and everybody else behind them has newer tires. But something tells me that the drivers who pitted in will still have a tough time trying to get around the drivers who stayed out. I don't know for them to try to get to the front. When the lights on the pace car do turn off, we are now back 1 to green. 81 of Travis Pryor leading this race so far. He elects to start on the outside this time. He will have the 12 Damian Crump behind him. On the inside is Hunter McDaniel with 64 of Cody McFadden on his rear end. And David White here making his way back up into the top 10 after starting in the 10th place spot and is now being shown 7th. Andrew Riley back here in the top 10 as well as we speak, from 17th to 8th. Brandon Slaw from 12th to 9th. And Eli Green, who was the first car to pin like David talked about, back there in the 10th place spot after taking the pole in practice and starting in the 4th place spot. Well, Dave, take it away.
Well, as the pace car now brings them here through turn number 3, getting ready to go. Green flag racing again here. See if Monster Miles the Monster will claim another victim here, as we are being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor. He puts it down. Hunter McDaniel caught sleeping. Travis Pryor gets a good jump. 64 of Cody McFadden trying to get to the back bumper there of Hunter McDaniel, which is, I'm pretty sure, is what Travis is hoping on, letting them guys battle out for second and letting him pull away with a pretty good lead.
Oh, absolutely, but looks of it, unfortunately, Hunter McDaniel and Cody McFadden are both catching the 81 of Travis Pryor. He just might be a sitting duck once they get him, but it's difficult to tell. 81 Travis Pryor puts it down to the floor and off turn 4. He actually had a good exit, better than Cody McFadden and Hunter McDaniel, and these two drivers do have Ralph Thunderforce on their tail. Actually, that's the 12 of Damian Crump on their tail, and Damian as well is hungry to try and take back the points, because as of last week he did lose, for the week before that at Kansas, he did lose his points lead to the 12 Cody McFadden and dropped 7 spots, but this week was able to get up into the 13 points, so he was able to gain 4 spots in points. Very impressive, and he's now going for the top dog, his biggest opponent so far, 64 of Cody McFadden, and he does have him in his sights here. Most likely going to be trying to get up to him and set him up before this race is over, and we now have 30 laps remaining here before the checkered flag, so it's getting nothing but intense. It is go time for most of these drivers.
Yeah, most definitely here. Andrew Riley moving up into the 8th position, but he has got Eli Green right behind him. We saw him start 10th. He is now running 9th, as he is going to get around the 31 of Andrew Riley. No problem. Andrew Riley going way high up on the track, as he is going to get freight trained here, as we see the 59 of David White get around him. Here comes Tommy Amassi, and Waylon Williams also back there wanting to get around him as well.
And Andrew Riley right now did tap the apron. Oh, we have some trouble behind him. Looks like some drivers spun out. Oh, the 8 of Williams on his lid. Holy cow. The 10 of Caleb Dunn is going to piece of that. Nope, he was able to avoid it. It was between 05 Tommy Massey and the 8 of Waylon Williams. Let's ride with the 8 of Williams on replay.
Well, as we take a look at the replay here, seeing exactly what happened, just some bad contact there made. 8 of Waylon Williams goes around, but as you said, we are going to ride on the cockpit of the 8 of Waylon Williams, see the ride that he went for. Good thing is he is able to get it back on its wheels, get it spun back around, and get it back going back straight.
Yeah, and from my end, I'm seeing some a little bit of bad netcode there between the two drivers. That would mark our 3rd or 4th bad netcode related incident, giving us some cautions here tonight. Very, very unfortunate. But up front there, we are still being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor, who leads everybody down to pit road. But we have one driver staying out. It's the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who will take over the race lead here on lap 144. And ladies and gentlemen, we will take another commercial break this time, so we can thank our sponsors, and you guys can get your next round of popcorn and refreshments. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucas Oil 200, part of round 5 of the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N series, brought to you by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics iBog. Check them out at ibog.co with Jason Allison, who did provide the mighty fine graphics that you see right before you here for the Dre Broadcasting Network. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You get notified every single time we go live. We are live 6 nights a week. So you guys have unlimited entertainment coming to you live from different tracks, different drivers, different machines, and just everything different, but the excitement is always the same. Stays as high gets. But going back to the race, we are still being led by Gary Robinson, and behind he has the 5 of Gary Woolbot. Oh, Gary Woolbot actually making the top 3. Great job by him. On the outside is 10 of Caleb Daniels and Hunter McDaniels as well. Caleb Daniels and Hunter McDaniel right behind him. That's 2 Daniels right there, almost caught me off guard. Their pace car dips off, going green with 24 laps remaining. Hunter McDaniel still holding pace speed. Gary still holding pace speed here. He puts down the floor. He does catch him off guard. Hunter McDaniel all over the 10 of Caleb Daniels. He backed off. He gives him a left tap and backs off himself. 81 of Travis Pride gets to the 5 Gary Woolbot. Big wreck. Henry turn 1. Holy cow, that's a big pile up. The 5 Woolbot involved. 78 of Leonard West involved. 8 of Willen Williams. 11 of Ken Ladd. The 13 of Eli Green, Andy Starcher as well. Holy cow. Let's back up, folks, on the 5 of Gary Woolbot.
As we focus on the 5 here, get the restart. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but Gary Woolbot got turned into the outside wall. Eli Green on his side. We are going to rewind that and take a look here from the blimp. See if we can see exactly what happened here. Looks like just a bump there from the 81 of Travis Pryor, just a racing incident. But that is just unfortunately not how Gary wanted to end his night, but he is going to have to go down pit road. Hopefully he's got a backup car and he's able to get back out here and get back into contention.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Unfortunately, indeed, for all drivers involved, it was just a big check-up on that restart there, which caused a chain reaction for the back in the pack, unfortunately. And knowing Gary Woolbot with how he's been driving tonight, he most likely does still have his backup car, but as we speak, he is getting towed down to pit road. But going back up front, we are being led by Garrett Robinson, the 10 of Caleb Daniels, 2nd, Hunter McDaniel, 3rd, Travis Pryor, 4th, and the 12 of Damian Crump running up the top 5 so far. And when we go green next time, it is going to be less than 20 laps remaining go time. These drivers can make it from now on. No need to worry about those pit stops like we're kind of hesitant here and there. Well, I was, but Dave, not so much. But in this case, they will be able to make it now, we're sure, we're certain. But further back in the pack, the 40 of Joshua Gillen, who is being shown the first car lap and getting away from this time by back on the lead lap on 149.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming down to the end of tonight's race. Seeing a lot of new faces out there in the chat, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe to the Dre Broadcasting Network so you can follow us live on YouTube. As Sean said, 6 nights a week. So we have dirt racing, we have super speedway racing, we have K&N, we've got trucks. We will have cup cars coming starting this Thursday for the Daytona with the Upper Edge Racing folks. So definitely make sure you hit that subscribe and tune in. is we try to bring you the best entertainment we possibly can.
And we do have some drivers pitting in. We have the 40 of Joshua Gillen, who just got his lap back, and that gives us now 16 drivers back on the lead lap, with the 5 of Gary Woobot being the first car 2 laps down. Speaking of Gary Woobot, he is still down pit road, so maybe he didn't have his backup car like I assumed he did. 11 of Ken Light is still on the racing surface here, being shown 3 laps down in 18th. 78 of Leonard West being shown on pit road as well. 19th place, 6 laps down, so he most likely is getting some damage fixed on the machine.
Well, as you said, Sean, we are down to the nitty-gritty. We are 21 to go. We should be getting the 1 to green next time by. We should be taking the green flag with 19 laps remaining here. So we are seeing right now, we still have right about 21, 22 cars here out on the track. So we are having a lot of drivers that are going to survive Miles the Monster here at Dover.
Oh, absolutely. That's absolutely right, Dave. Yep, this track has claimed a couple of drivers, but you can't claim them all. These drivers have said no to the track and are trying their best to not get claimed before this thing ends. We're going to be having less than 20 laps remaining. This is now the 20 to go mark. Finally, the lights on pace car do turn off. And David, an interesting fact, the top 2 drivers, Garrett Robinson and the 10 of Caleb Daniels, these guys have 17 laps on their tires now, but everybody else has 8 laps or less. So if this thing stays green, Dave, they'll be out of luck.
We're going to find out, Sean. But I know from my experience, though, definitely, tires are key here at Dover. So, yeah, I just can't wait. Also, Pat T, we're looking forward to tomorrow night for the truck race here at Dover International Speedway as well. So hopefully we'll see you out there tomorrow night rooting on all the drivers here in the ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
And we are entering turns number 3 and 4 here, going green with less than 20 laps remaining. It is go time. Let's see what happens. The pace car dips off. Then I saw Garrett still holding pace speed. The 10 of Caleb leads a little bit of a slight nose here on this restart. Garrett still holding pace speed as we speed. They're getting bunched up nice and tight. He's going to put it down to the floor. Then I saw Garrett, so that's catch him off guard. The 10 of Daniels spun his tires, had to back off to avoid causing trouble. Hunter McDaniel will suffer from that and has not just but stay back behind him. On the outside is the 81 of Travis Pratt, challenging the 10 of Caleb Daniels for second place.
Well, we are seeing how the tires take effect there with the 81 of Travis Pryor. He's got right about 8 laps less than Caleb Daniels as he is going to take him. But they are going to go 3 wide here on the front stretch with Hunter McDaniel. But no, 81 of Travis Pryor is going to move up into that second position. Caleb Daniels is going to protect that number 3 spot for now as he has got Damian Crump there all behind him. But the question is, can Travis Pryor catch the 97 of Garrett Robinson?
And for the back in the pack, 48 of Christopher Smith here, back in the top 10, trying to get into the top 5 the best he can behind 6-4 of Cody McFadden, who in turn is trying to catch the 57 Hunter McDaniel and the 12 Damian Crump. Hunter is going to set up the 12 Damian Crump here, entering turn 3. Hunter McDaniel that drives in hard, but 12 of Crump squeezing down the bottom lane. They make contact. The 12 Crump goes sideways. 57 big wreck on the front. 48 involved. 57 Hunter McDaniel involved. And the caution will fly here on lap 155. Let's back now focus on the 57 Hunter McDaniel on replay.
Well, we saw that happen live, but we are going to take a look here at the replay. We are going to go to our Goodyear blimp view and watch them as we saw a heck of a save there by the 12 of Damian Crump as he gets a little sidetracked. 57 checks up. 64 of Cody McFadden had nowhere to go. That is also going to collect the 48 there, and he is smoking heavenly. So this is going to shake things up here as we are 15 laps to go.
Yep, this will definitely shake things up indeed. And holy cow, very unfortunate for every single driver involved in that heavy battling going on here. and the 97 of Gary Robinson still being able to maintain his lead. 81 Travis Pride being shown second, the 10 of Caleb Daniels third, Cody McFadden fourth, and Ralph Van der Forst in the 5th place spot, and that rounds up our top 5 so far. Garrett going down, but nope, he fakes him out. 81 of Pride does the exact same thing, but they will all stay out. But Cody, Damian Crump, Waylon Williams, all going down pit road as we speak.
Yeah, those guys needing tires, but I don't know about this move with Garrett Robinson and Caleb Daniels. Now 22 laps on their tires. Travis Pryor 14, Ralph Vandervorst 13, and Hunter McDaniel 13. So this is definitely going to be a key factor here tonight. So especially as once we go green, we'll have about 10 laps to go.
Yeah, it just might work out in their favor. Their best bet is going to be trying their best to just ride the bottom to high line and ride in their rearview mirror to try and see the best way to defend their positions to avoid losing more spots or losing their positions. So that's what they're pretty much hoping for, is maybe cautions and a very, very good defense. But going on the pack here, we did have a driver getting around the pace car. It was the 11. Nope, actually trying to catch a number on that machine. I don't seem to be finding the machine that got around the pace car here, but it doesn't look like it was Ken Ladd, because Ken Ladd right now is being shown in 16th place ahead of the 13 of Eli Green, both 3 laps down. We now have 15 drivers being shown here on the lead lap. The 78 of Leonard West is now back out on the track after having to get towed down pit road to get his backup car. So he was able to get that. He's now back out there trying to get in as many spots as he can. Status check on the 5 of Gary Woolbot. Gary Woolbot is still on pit road as we speak, and his pit crew is hard at work on that machine.
Yeah, most definitely here taking a look. 14 cars still left on the lead lap here tonight. Last car on the lead lap is going to be the 19 of Andy Starcher. He is back on the lead lap after we've seen him some previous incidents here. 13 laps remaining as these cars are doing pace laps here. And looking at our top 5, looks like the 88 of Brandon Slow has moved up into that number 5th position. So he is doing a good job there after starting back in the 5th and now currently starting in 12th position and is now running in the 5th spot.
Yep, and the 2 drivers as well who were staying together all race long. All 5, Tommy Massey and 59 of David White, are still together, nose to tail here, 6th and 7th. And that 31 of Andrew Riley, heavy damage on the machine, but still being able to maintain his top 10 position in the 8th place spot behind 59 of David White. And for the back in the pack, 19, Andy Starcher, with some heavy damage as well behind the 40 of Joshua Gillen. And that will be for position. Andy Starcher has had a couple of rough races this season, but he definitely still shows up to try and make the best of every other race. And right now we are now back 1 to green up front here, being led by Garrett Robinson. Behind he has the 10 of Caleb Daniels. On the outside is the 81 of Travis Pryor, who will be assisted by the 66 of Ralph Van der Forst on this restart.
Well, just a little math here. We are 12 laps to go. We are going green with 11 laps to go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know 170 laps ends the race. However, with 4 laps to go, if that yellow flag flies, that is also going to end the race.
Yep, the closer we get to the 5 to go mark, these drivers will be aggressive, more aggressive than they have been tonight, trying their best to be in the best spot possible before the caution flies, because they know that flag will end the race. If it were to happen, the pace car dips off, and Robinson still holding pace speed. 81, Travis Pryor making his presence known, side drafting, being close to him here before the restart. Gary Robinson puts it down to fully 10 of Caleb will follow. They both had some wheel spin, but were able to hang on to it after being so squirrely. 81 of Travis Pryor here will drop in behind the 10 of Caleb Dennis. Barely cleared him. They almost actually spun him. But that was some great driving on the part of 81 of Pryor, avoiding the incident. And the 60 of Ralph Van der Forst right now getting overtaken by the 88 of Brandon Slow. Brandon Slow, 16 the Ralph Vanderford side by side here on the exit of 4. Ralph goes way wide, and because he did go way wide, he was able to get the slingshot off turn 4. But Brandon still holding the inside line nice and strong here for the 4th place position on the exit of 2. The caution will fly. Gonna back up and see who might have been involved in this one. And that gives the 10 to go mark.
That is going to involve the 18 of Rick Mason here, already 18 laps down. As we pull up our Dre broadcast and replay, focusing on the 18 of Rick Mason running high lane there on the outside. He is going to make contact with that wall, almost get into the 57, but he is going to keep it up on that outside wall so everybody can get around him. Good job by that driver there, keeping it out of the way of all the other drivers, as we are back under caution here again at Dover International Speedway.
Yeah, the 18 of Rick Mason did get the worst end of that deal, unfortunately. Yeah, no, that does give us our 6th victim of the exit of the turn 4 wall here at the Dover International Speedway for the Lucas Oil 200. But going back up front, we are still being led by Garrett Robinson, the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Second, the 81 of Travis Pratt. Third, Brandon Slow moving up to 4th place. Ralph Vandervoort moving up into the 5th place spot. And that so far does round up that top 5. And from the last time we checked, Andrew Riley has gained 2 spots. He was in 8th place behind 05 of Amasi and 59 of David White. But he was able to get around both drivers, bumping himself up into the 6th place spot. And Cody McFadden back in the 9th place spot was working his way through the field, trying to get to the front to most likely have his 4th win in a row here with the Extreme Motorsports Pro K&N Series, sponsored by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics, iBog.
Well, Sean, an interesting fact. Once we go back green flag racing, the next flag will end the race. As we are now 8 laps to go, we will probably go green with 5 to 4 laps remaining, which will pretty much mean once we take the green flag, the next flag will end the race.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain these drivers do know that, and with that said, they will be putting their hammers down to the floor the first chance they get, so they can be able to be in the best spot possible. When that flag comes out, like Dave had pointed out, that flag will end the race. And these guys trying to be in the best spot possible once again to try and make a difference in the points. And for the back in the pack here, we do have the 11 of Ken Ladd being shown 3 laps down. First car 3 laps down. So I believe he should be getting a wave around the pace car this time by. Actually, it looks like it's being sent further back in the pack. So I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, it looks like since he's 3 laps, he's 3 laps down, he will not be getting the lucky dog. And 78 of Leonard West right behind him, being shown 5 laps down. Eli Green on pit road, getting some service on the machine. Gary Hubert is actually retired for the night. Very unfortunate for Gary. Had a rough night tonight, despite just pretty much keeping a low profile all race long tonight there behind the in the 15th to 14th place position range. But despite that, he did an amazing job. We look forward to seeing all these drivers back again next week for round 6. The Rocket Chassis 142 at Texas Motor Speedway here with the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series once again, brought to you by iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics. Check them out at ibog.co.
Well, as the pace car is going to bring them here out of turn number 4, waiting to see if we are going to get the 1 to green, being led by the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Garrett Robinson leading 21 laps tonight, but the driver who led the most laps tonight, that is going to be the 64 of McFadden there. Cody McFadden running back into 9th. He has led 72 laps here tonight.
Yeah, very, very impressive indeed on the part of Cody McFadden. An amazing driver. Was able to pull off 3 wins in a row so far in this series. But these drivers sick of it, trying their best to make him not have a 4th win in a row here tonight. So he does have a lot more work to do. He's now for the back in the 9th place spot, and we are now back 1 to green. This 97 of Garrett Robinson still in the lead and occupies the outside, choosing to start on the outside rather than the inside line. He has the 88 of Brandon Slow behind him. On the inside is the 10 of Caleb Daniels with the 81 of Travis Pryor. on his rear end. But we are now going green for the final time, this time by, well, Dave, take it away.
Well, the pace car is going to bring him here into 3. Garrett Robinson, Travis Pryor, Caleb Daniels, Brandon Slow. It's anybody's race as the pace car dips down into pit road. Looks like Garrett Robinson is going to line up on the outside. He is going to put the hammer down. Caleb saw it coming, but here comes the 81 of Travis Pryor, giving him a push, though. But Ralph Vandervorst trying to make a pass there on the outside, as these guys are coming through turns 1 and 2 here. As we said, next flag will end the race here.
31 of Andrew Riley gets into the wall on the exit of turn 2. He does go to the inside. Oh, tries to go to the inside of the 16 Ralph Vandervorst. He gives him a lap tap there in turn number 3, but he was able to keep it stable somehow. But up front in the 81 of Travis Pryor, the 88 of Brandon Slow, the 10 of Caleb Daniels going at it. But so far, Hunting, the 97 of Garrett Robinson doing an amazing job pulling away due to them battling.
Yeah, the 81 of Travis, the caution is out. That is going to freeze the field there, Sean.
Holy cow, Dave, that was quite the wreck. 31 of Andrew Riley involved in that. The 8 of Waylon Williams on his lid, going sideways in almost every single way possible. Let's back it up on Andrew Riley and see what happened.
Well, as we focus there on the 31 of Andrew Riley, he gets loose there in the turn. Oh, big contact with Waylon Williams. We are going to rewind this and take a look here from the blimp view. Looks like a little bit of net code there, but unfortunately Andrew Riley is going to go for a fly. Let's take a look here from the cockpit view of Andrew Riley. Andrew Riley getting sideways, cranks that wheel, but ends up on his side and spun around backwards. And as we said, Sean, that is going to freeze the field. That is going to give Garrett Robinson the winner for tonight.
Absolutely. Very unfortunate indeed for all drivers involved. And Andrew Riley, holy cow, he got the worst end of that deal. He actually had the 48 of Christopher Smith go under him during the wreck. And unfortunately, we have lost the 8 of Waylon Williams as well, who was on his lid during the incident. But going back up front, that 97 of Garrett Robinson will have his first win here tonight in the Pro K&N Series with the Extreme Motorsports 99. And 31 of Andrew Riley smoking heavily, going sideways on the track, Dave, determined to bring this thing home.
Yeah, most definitely here. Andrew Riley running back in the 12th position, smoking heavily. Hopefully he can make it. We are 2 laps to go. They got to go around 2 more times to get the checkered flag. As you said, our race winner is going to be the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Caleb Daniels will finish in the 2nd position. Travis Pryor rounding out your top 3 for here tonight.
Yeah, that was an amazing race by these drivers. This is a very, very tough track, ladies and gentlemen. And these drivers gave it all they had to try not get claimed by it. But unfortunately, we have had a lot of drivers get claimed tonight by this track. We'll look forward to having an amazing race tomorrow night as well in the truck series, Cupping World Truck Series here with the Extreme Motorsports 99. With the Extreme Motorsports 99 entitled the Bar Harbor 170. And the good thing is some drivers in this race here tonight in the Pro K&N Series do race in the truck series as well, so they're going to have a lot of practice, like Damian Crump, Hunter McDaniel, Andy Starcher, and also 11 of Ken Ladd, the 5 of Gary Woolbot, and a lot more drivers. And this is now the white flag here, the 97 of Garrett Robinson here, entering turn number 2. He's going to be exiting it and bringing this thing home on pace speed. Our biggest movers in tonight's race, 81 of Travis Pryor from 29th to 3rd, Brandon Slow from 12th to 4th, Tommy Massey from 20th to 6th, Cody McFadden from 3rd to 7th. We do have also David White from 10th to 9th, the 19 of 12 Damian Crump from 19th to 11th, Andrew Riley from the 17th place spot to 12th, for the 19 of Andy Starcher from 14th to 13th, and Joshua Yellen finishing 14th tonight, being the last car on the lead lap in the 14th place spot, and everybody else a lap or more down. As we also had tonight, we had a lot of drivers who had an early night due to either getting claimed by the track turn 2. We haven't seen many drivers get claimed by turn 2. I don't think we saw any get claimed by turn 2, but turn 4 tonight, was the biggest, opposed to turn 2, which usually has been known to be the biggest, the worst turn at tracks like these. This checkered flag now, and Robinson brings it home. Caleb Daniels second, Travis Pryor third, Brandon Slow fourth, and Ralph Vanderforst in the 5th place spot. And we'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers, including the 88 of Brandon Slow in the 4th place spot. So stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined by our top 4 drivers: Garrett Robinson, Caleb Daniels, Travis Pryor, and the 88 of Brandon Slow. We will start with tonight's race winner, having his first win of the whole entire season so far, Garrett Robinson. Good up there, buddy.
Oh, yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Well, Garrett, you had your hands full tonight here at Dover International. You had some bad luck here every night. You had some bad luck tonight in the beginning. You did have some damage for more than half the race tonight, and just pretty much battling, trying to take away as many spots as you can while you could, as this track is also very, very difficult to pass. How's your race tonight, buddy?
It was good. I didn't ever think I was going to be able to run up there with Cody and them, but I can't thank Caleb Daniels and John Houston for helping me out tonight, and his car was pretty good after I got it fixed.
Well, Gary, we are glad that you have an amazing team that did help you. Help you be successful tonight. And Gary, once again, this gives you your first win of the season, your second top 5, and your 4th top 10. Very, very impressive. And how were the tires feeling towards the very end? Because you had the most laps on your tires with the 10 of Caleb Daniels towards the very end there.
Yeah, I didn't even notice my tires wearing, but they felt new. I was just chasing the checkered flag, so I wasn't really paying attention to the tires.
Oh, well, we are glad that you were able to not pay attention to the tires and was able to still manage the car and keep everybody behind you and win tonight's race, giving you your first win of the season. Congratulations on that. But before we let you go, any final words?
I want to thank NC Designs and Top Shelf Diecast and Caution Light News for sponsoring me. I really do thank them. And thank y'all for broadcasting, and thank Rick Donathan and all the admins for putting this league on.
So, buddy, congratulations on your first win, your second top 5. Your second top 5 and your 4th top 10. Look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a good one.
Thank y'all.
And that was tonight's race winner, the 97 of Garrett Robinson. But right behind him is a driver with his second race here tonight. Second race of the season, the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Give it up there, Caleb.
Hey, man, yeah, thanks. It was a good one. Congrats to Garrett. Had a little strategy right there. Worked out pretty good.
Oh, man, you did an amazing job, Garrett. And Garrett, we had a chance to talk to you early on during one of the cautions there, and you talked about how your biggest goal was to stay alive. And as soon as you said that, you were involved in, I believe, 2 incidents. You got a lot of damage, you had to go down Pit Road to get some backup cars. During those instances, did you see yourself finishing up here in the top 3?
I didn't see myself finishing top 10, honestly. It's the second race, and it's at Dover, so that's even hard. But, yeah, we ran good. They said earlier, be patient. So that's what I did, and it worked out.
Well, buddy, we are glad your strategy did end up working out in the long run here. Despite you having a lot of laps on your tires towards the very end, you were able to keep everybody behind you, take the positions away when it really mattered the most. and which did lead to your first top 5 and your first top 10 with your second race here at Dover. Despite it being Dover, did an amazing job tonight, buddy. What any final words?
No, just thanks to all the admin and people that got us in here and set up. Everybody's good here in iRacing and Extreme Motorsports. I'd like to thank them all. So just thanks.
Congratulations, buddy, on your success tonight. Look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, man.
And that was the second place driver, the 10 of Caleb Daniels. But right behind him is the not so lucky driver this season so far, the 81 of Travis Pride. Tonight being a hard charger, moving up from 29th to 3rd, gaining 26 spots overall. You come up there, Travis?
I do. How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. You know, I'm pretty happy to finish tonight, so can't be upset about nothing.
Oh man, I hear you, and holy cow, Travis, you had your hands full tonight. We noticed you were bouncing up and down in positions after getting involved in a couple of incidents here and there. But tell us about your race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an eventful race. Hit the wall in qualifying, so couldn't get a lap time put in, so I had to start in the back. I knew patience would be the key. I knew eventually I'd make my way up there. 170 laps is a long race. It just took a while to get back up there, some pit strategies, and making sure to be able to avoid those wrecks and things like that. But can't be more happy with starting last, coming up to get in the top 3.
Absolutely, that's very impressive, brother, man. You did an amazing job tonight, and this gives you your first top 5 and your third top 10 of the season. Last week at Charlotte, you were not so lucky. You were doing an amazing job, but for third place, so you ended up getting wrecked out with less than 3 laps to go, which did shuffle you back below the top 10. But definitely tonight, you did do an amazing job and made up for all the bad races you've had. What should we expect to see from you at Texas?
I'm hoping to take this momentum over to Texas. That's a pretty strong track for myself and Maverick Motorsports. I feel like we'll definitely be able to feed off of each other. Try to keep ourselves in the top 10, top 5 if we can. Just trying to get up there and hoping to win one of these. You know, just trying to get up there, get the season turned around early.
Sounds like a plan, brother. And you still have a long way to go here this season. And with how you've been driving this season, you should be able to gain a few more spots and maybe even take it away from the pole sitter so far, the season standings leader, the 6'4" of Cody McFadden. Oh, but before we let you go, any final words?
Yeah, I wanna thank my mom, little brother, my uncle, teach me everything I know about anything about racing, going in a circle. I want to give a huge shout out to Pat T. Give me huge support in the comments. Just can't be happy enough with the support I get from my family, my friends, and shout out to Maverick Motorsports and get us some wins later.
Congratulations again tonight, Travis, on your third place finish, and look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. Have a good night.
You too, thank you.
And that was Travis Pride finishing in the third place spot, his best finish this season here with round number 5. He does have some bad luck almost every single race, but tonight was totally different, and he did dominate. But right behind him is the 88 of Brandon Slow, who has kept a low profile all season long. But tonight he was here, started 12th, finished in the 4th place spot. Good to come up there, buddy.
Yep, I'm here.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good. Long race.
Oh, absolute long race indeed. But Brandon, we saw you battling a lot. You were driving it in hard into every single turn, which was pretty much letting everybody get out of your way, and you were advancing your spots almost every single lap after lap, which is very, very impressive at a track like this. And you did an amazing job overall tonight. This gives you your first top 5 and first top 10 as well. And congratulate you on that, as tonight was an amazing performance on your part. But what was your highlight from tonight, buddy?
I mean, thank you for this. And my highlight, I don't really know. I mean, I'm just proud to finish top 4 in the top 5. I mean, I've never been in a league like this, and it's just awesome. So being in the top 5 is awesome for me.
Oh, 10-4, brother. And Brandon, what actually contributed to you finishing in the top 5 like you did? Because you had a lot of competition out there, and a few incidents that you were involved in tonight.
Well, me and my team, Snow Motorsports, we got out here all week, and we were practicing for the entire week until this race came up. And then I just started in 12s, and I was just trying to be patient on the turns and everything, and I saw the openings, so I would just take them.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing. Just pretty much taking it while you can, and that practice definitely paid off tonight, gaining 8 spots overall. And look forward to this momentum shifting over to next week at Texas. And speaking of Texas Motor Speedway, how much experience do you have there?
Not really much experience, but I mean, me and my team are gonna get out there again starting tomorrow probably, and just keep practicing until the race night.
Oh, 10-4, brother. And with that said, that practice will pay off just like it has paid off for you tonight. You're gaining 8 spots overall, giving you your first top 5 and your first top 10. Very impressive, brother. We look forward to seeing more of you in the race and hearing more from you up here in the booth with us. Before I let you go, buddy, any final words?
Yeah, I would like to thank my family for this opportunity for putting this on. I'd like to thank my girlfriend for supporting me through this. I'd like to thank Snow Motorsports for having me on their team and pushing me through this. And I'd like to thank my cousin, Avery Cook.
Congratulations again tonight on your 4th place finish, Brandon. Look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Have a good night.
You too.
And that was the 88 of Brandon Slaw, and that does round up our top 4 interviews. Garrett Robinson winning tonight's race, having his first win. The 10 of Caleb Daniels having his first top 5. 81 of Travis Pryor finishing the 3rd place spot, having a better race than most of the races he has. And the 88 of Brandon Slaw having his first top 5 and his first top 10. Very impressive by all these drivers. Dave, it was an outstanding performance by these drivers tonight. This track is very hard. It's very difficult to pass, very difficult to race on. But the drivers definitely did try their best. And unfortunately, Netcode did claim a lot of drivers who had a lot of, I believe, 6 to 7 cautions were all bad Netcode related. But other than that, it was an amazing race.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys definitely had their hands full all night tonight. Not just trying to get around the track with other drivers, but just trying to stay away from Miles the Monster as well. But as you said, Miles the Monster, I think we can call him victorious there. He's got a lot of victims out there tonight, but these guys are going to be able to put it behind them because, as you said, next week we are going to be at Texas. Texas is high speed and a lot of fun, so I think these drivers are looking forward to it. I think the fans at home are looking forward to it. I can't wait, but it was just an overall great race tonight.
That is very, very nicely said indeed, and took the words right out of my mouth. And thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here tonight for Lucas Oil 200 by the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series, sponsored by iRacing Broadcast Overlay and Graphics iBog. Check them out at ibog.co with Jason Allison. And the next race will be next week at the exact same time, same day, round 6, entitled the Rocket Chassis 142 at Texas Motor Speedway. And that will be an amazing race, as it is a battlefield race, like David talked about, high speed, and a lot of battles do take place at tracks like that. Well, next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night, right here on the Dre Broadcasting Network, with the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N, Extreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series, entitled Bar Harbor 170, at the exact same track, Dover International Speedway. Well, thank you for joining us once again. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified every single time we go live. We are live 6 nights a week, so you guys have unlimited entertainment coming to you live from different tracks, different cars, different race leagues, different drivers. But once again, the excitement still stays high. I am Sean Zulu, and Dave Everly behind the cameras. We want to thank the Extreme Motorsports 99 for having us. If you guys would like to be a part of this action, check them out at extrememotorsports99.com. That's extreme without the first E, just start with the X. That's extrememotorsports99.com. And you can you pretty much find everything that you need. Their website is very, very detailed. It is very, very well organized. And these guys are very, very serious. You can join the Road Series on Mondays or the Pro K&N Series on Mondays. On Tuesdays, they run the Truck Series. Wednesdays, Xfinity Series. And Thursday nights, they do run the Cup Series. And they do have an upcoming Dirt Series if you guys would like some sideways action. And you guys can join either of those based on your experience. Well, I am Sean Zulu once again, and Dave Everly behind the cameras. And thank you for watching. Have a good night.